Welcome to Tyla Walker Romance. You're about to dive into one of Miss Tyla's free full audiobooks. She always knows how to make you forget your life with handsome alpha male billionaire heroes and sassy strong heroines who grab love with both hands. In order for this content to be free, we have to take out the dirty details. Otherwise, we risk disrupting this platform's rules and guidelines. Buy the unabridged version of any Tyla Walker audiobook from TylaWalker.com, and with code SAVE40, you can get 40% off any digital product at checkout. Take this moment to subscribe to the channel, and remember that liking and commenting is what makes these free full audiobooks possible. Thank you for choosing to treat yourself with Miss Tyla. Chapter 1. Kortnie. The gravel crunches beneath my heels as I step out of the car, a sound too familiar, too steeped in memory. The late afternoon sun stretches long shadows across the vineyard, casting golden light over rows of vines that seem untouched by time. But I know better. Everything here has changed, including me. The scent of ripened grapes and fresh earth fills my lungs, and for a split second, I let myself savor it. The air is different here, cleaner, richer, tinged with the faintest whisper of nostalgia. I grew up with this smell, spent my childhood running through these rows, pressing my small fingers into the soil, learning how to tell the difference between a good grape and a bad one before I could even spell the word sommelier. But I didn't come back for sentimentality. I square my shoulders, adjusting the strap of my leather tote before turning toward the estate house. It looms in front of me, all polished wood and stone, a place that once held every one of my dreams. Now it's just a job, a consulting gig, nothing more. At least, that's what I tell myself. Then I see him. Rex Montgomery stands at the top of the porch steps, hands in his pockets, watching me like I'm something fragile. A ghost from his past that he's not sure how to handle. His dark hair is shorter than I remember, his jaw sharper, beneath the light stubble dusting his skin. He wears a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled up just enough to reveal strong forearms, a reminder of the man who used to work these fields alongside me before ambition pulled him somewhere I couldn't follow, before he broke my heart. I forced my expression into something unreadable, something polished and professional. Rex. His lips twitch, like he isn't sure if he should smile or brace for impact. Kortnie, you made it. Obviously. I climbed the steps, keeping my stride measured, my face neutral. I refuse to let him see that my pulse is hammering, that just standing this close to him stirs something warm and dangerous inside me. He exhales, a soft laugh escaping him. Still got that sharp tongue, I see. Still stating the obvious, I see. I shoot back, adjusting my bag. His smile, damn him, grows slow and knowing, the kind that used to unravel me when we were younger. But I'm not that girl anymore. Come inside, he says after a beat, stepping back to let me pass. The moment I cross the threshold, it hits me, hard. The scent of aged oak barrels, fresh lavender from the garden just outside, the faintest hint of wine lingering in the air. This place, this house, still remembers me. I swallow against the knot tightening in my throat and keep moving. Past the foyer, past the sunlit hall that leads to the tasting room. I appreciate you coming, Rex says, closing the door behind us. I glance at him. I didn't come for you. He flinches, just a flicker, but I catch it before he schools his expression into something unreadable. Good. He should feel that sting. You came for the vineyard? He says after a pause, nodding like he accepts that answer. Then let's talk about it. I nod, relieved that we're cutting straight to business. What exactly are you looking for with this project? I read through the initial reports, but if you want my help, I need to know the real situation. Rex leans against the edge of the wooden table in the center of the room, crossing his arms over his chest. We're expanding the label, trying to elevate the brand, refine the quality. The vineyard's strong, but we both know that's not enough in today's market. I press my lips together, nodding. He's right. It's not enough to have good wine anymore. You need a story, a soul, a reason for people to reach for your bottle over 100 others on the shelf. And you need me because I let the sentence hang. Because you're the best. The words leave his mouth so easily, so confidently that I almost forget how much he once undervalued what I brought to the table. Almost. I exhale, folding my arms across my chest. I don't know if I should be flattered or suspicious. He studies me, his gaze steady, unreadable. Can it be both? It's been years since we've spoken like this, since we've stood in the same space, since we've felt, whatever this is, tugging between us. I clear my throat, breaking the moment before it can turn into something dangerous. All right, I say, forcing a cool tone. I'll assess the vineyard properly tomorrow. I'll need to go through the current stock, test the varietals, and check the soil conditions before I give my recommendations. Rex nods, pushing off the table. Sounds good. I turn to leave, but before I can reach the door, he speaks again. Kortnie, something in his voice, something rough, uncertain, stops me. I glance back, keeping my face neutral. What? His jaw tenses, his fingers flexing at his sides. For a moment, I think he's about to say something real, something that might shatter the delicate boundary I'm trying so hard to hold. But then he just shakes his head. Nothing. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't let myself hesitate. I just turn and walk out, back into the warm evening air, my heart pounding harder than I'd like to admit. Tomorrow. I tell myself this is just business, that this is just a vineyard, just a job. But as I breathe in the vines, the memories pressing in on all sides, I know I'm lying. And Rex Montgomery, he knows it too.
Chapter 2. Rex. I watch Kortnie leave. The way her back stays straight, the measured rhythm of her steps, like she's counting each one, making sure she doesn't falter. She walks out of the house, across the porch, down those familiar steps, and I don't let myself follow. Instead, I stand there, hands clenched at my sides, jaw locked tight enough to crack a molar. I should have expected this. The ice in her voice, the careful distance in her eyes. Hell, I deserved it. But knowing that doesn't make it any easier to swallow. I exhale slowly, forcing my shoulders to relax, but it doesn't do a damn thing. Because Kortnie Daniels is finally here, in my space, in my world again. And I have to pretend like that doesn't mean anything. I drag a hand through my hair and turn back into the tasting room. The place is too damn quiet. The air still thick with the smell of her. Vanilla, citrus, and something warmer. Something undeniably her. It shouldn't shake me the way it does. I remind myself, she's here for work, that's it. She's not here to rehash the past. Not here to forgive me. Not here to let me touch her again. No matter how much I still remember what it felt like. I push off the table and stride toward the bar, grabbing a bottle from the shelf without looking. The deep red label is familiar under my fingers. Our first vintage together. The one we spent late nights perfecting, arguing over, making love between long stretches of blending and tasting. The cork comes loose with a soft pop. The front door opens behind me, footsteps falling heavy and uneven. I don't need to turn to know it's Bennett, my vineyard manager, and one of the few people who's been with this place as long as I have. You all right? His voice is rough, edged with something knowing. I pour the wine into a glass, watching the way the deep crimson clings to the edges. Fine. He doesn't buy it. She looked real good. I bring the glass to my lips, but it does nothing to wash the tightness from my throat. She did. Bennett lets out a low chuckle, stepping closer. Didn't seem too happy to see you, though. I huff out something that's not quite a laugh. That's an understatement. We stand there for a moment, the quiet stretching, both of us knowing that this isn't something small, that it never was. You gonna be able to handle this? Bennett finally asks. I set the glass down harder than necessary, gripping the counter's edge. It's not like I have a choice. He studies me, then nods like he sees something he expected. You ever gonna tell her? I tense. Tell her what? Bennett scoffs. Don't play dumb, Montgomery. You were gonna leave the business for her. You had a whole damn plan. If she knew that... She doesn't, I cut in, sharp and final. And it doesn't matter now. Bennett exhales through his nose, arms crossing over his broad chest. Maybe it should. Maybe. But Kortnie made her choice, and I made mine. Or at least that's the lie I've been telling myself since the night she walked out of my life. I reach for the glass again, draining the rest of the wine in one slow swallow before grabbing my jacket from the chair. Where are you going? Bennett calls after me. I don't stop. I'm gonna walk the vines. It's different around here at night. Quieter. The stars stretch endless over the rows, the cool breeze shifting between them like a whisper. It's always been my favorite time to be out here, when everything else fades and it's just this, the land, the work. And tonight I need the clarity. I walk between the rows, fingers skimming the leaves, checking the weight of the fruit. The harvest is coming fast, too fast. There's still too much to figure out, too much on the line. The investor situation is getting worse. The margins are too tight. I need this project to work. I need Kortnie to stay. My jaw flexes at the thought. She's been back less than an hour, and already I feel off balance. Like she's knocked something loose in me that I don't know how to fix. I don't like it. Hell, I haven't liked much since she left. The sound of soft footsteps breaks my focus. I turn before I can stop myself. And there she is, standing at the vines, wrapped in a thin sweater, arms crossed over her chest. Something inside me tightens. Couldn't stay away? She exhales sharply, not quite a laugh. Funny. I was about to say the same thing about you. I watch her, waiting. She sighs, glancing toward the vines, avoiding my gaze. I forgot how quiet it gets out here at night. You used to love that. Her jaw tenses, just a flicker, but I catch it. Yeah, I did. We stand there with everything that's unsaid settling between us. The moonlight traces over her skin, catching in her hair. I let myself just look at her. Really look at her. She shifts, arms tightening around herself. I'll go over the soil reports in the morning. I'm going to check the barrel storage, too. I nod. You still like starting with the small batch reserves? Her brows lift slightly like she wasn't expecting me to remember that. Yeah, I do. Something warm edges into my chest, something dangerous. She looks at me then, really looks, and I swear I feel that stare all the way down to my bones. This isn't going to be easy, is it? No. You're not going to make this easy for me, are you? I step closer just enough for her to feel the heat of me, for her to know that whatever's been buried between us isn't dead. No, I murmur, my voice low, steady. I'm not. She exhales, and I think she's going to step back, to run, but she doesn't. Instead, she lifts her chin, meeting my gaze with something that looks an awful lot like a challenge. Good, she whispers. Just like that, I know, we're not done yet.
Chapter 3. Kortnie. The vineyard is still humming with night sounds as I walk back toward the house, the air thick with ripe fruit and damp earth. I should go inside, shut the door behind me, and let the night settle back into silence. Instead, I linger at the vines, heart still pounding. Rex's voice still curling through my head like smoke. "You're not gonna make this easy for me, are you?" "No." "I'm not." His words weren't a threat. They weren't even a warning. They were a promise. I pushed my hands into the sleeves of my sweater, suddenly too aware of the cool air pressing against my skin. I should be irritated. I should be tired. But more than anything, I feel awake. The kind of restless energy that comes when something you thought was long gone starts creeping back to life. Tomorrow. That's all I should focus on. The project, the work. Not the way Rex looks at me like he's memorizing every inch of me. Like he's afraid if he blinks, I'll disappear. I shake the thought away and force myself toward the house, my steps quicker than before. The next morning, the sky is clear, bright blue stretching over the vineyard like a fresh canvas. I step onto the back porch, inhaling deeply before heading toward the fermentation room, where the first stage of production happens. The space is exactly how I remember it. Cool air, the hum of temperature-controlled tanks, the deep, rich scent of wine aging in oak barrels. It should feel familiar, comforting even. But this time there's something different. An awareness curling in the back of my mind. Because this isn't just any vineyard. This isn't just any project. Rex Montgomery isn't just any man. "You're early." I don't turn at the sound of his voice. "So are you." His footsteps are quiet against the concrete floor as he moves toward me. I know he's there without seeing him. I can feel him, the heat of him, the presence that used to feel like home. "Figured you'd want to start with the reserves," he says, stopping just behind me. "Same as always." I trail my fingers lightly over the side of the barrels. "You're assuming I haven't changed?" There's a pause, long enough to make me turn. Rex is watching me, eyes dark, mouth pressed in that unreadable way he does when he's thinking too hard. "You have," he says finally. "But you still care about this." He nods toward the barrels, his voice softer than before. "Still like to start at the source." I hold his gaze. I should argue. Should remind him that I've built a career outside of this place, that I'm here because I'm good at what I do, not because of some lingering connection to the past, but we both know that isn't entirely true. I exhale and turn back to the barrels, pressing my palm against the wood. "The reserves are the foundation," I say, keeping my voice even. "If they're off, the rest doesn't matter." Rex steps beside me, close enough that his arm brushes mine. "Then let's see what we're working with." I nod once, keeping my breath steady. I can do this. Work first, emotions later. He pulls a wine thief from the nearby rack, a slender glass tube designed to extract small samples from the barrel, and hands it to me. "You want to do the honors?" I hesitate for half a second before taking it. "You trust me that much?" He smirks. "Always have." A warmth spreads through me, unexpected and unwelcome. I push it down, focus on the task at hand, and dip the thief into the barrel, drawing up a small amount of deep red liquid. Carefully, I tilt it into a tasting glass and hold it up to the light. The color is good. A rich velvety garnet, just dark enough to hint at depth, but not so deep that it loses its vibrancy. I swirl it lightly, letting the aroma rise. Blackberry, oak, a hint of vanilla. Good. Balanced. But there's something else. Something just slightly off. I bring the glass to my lips, taking a slow sip, letting it roll over my tongue. Rex watches me, waiting. I lower the glass, swallowing thoughtfully. It's good. But I tilt my head, considering. It's missing something. The tannins are strong, the fruit is balanced, but the finish, it fades too fast. Rex takes the glass from my hand and tastes it himself, brows drawing together as he processes. "You think it's the aging process?" "No, the structure is solid. The issue is in the blend. He studies the glass, then looks at me. You're saying the grapes were mixed wrong? Not wrong, I correct. Just safe? I lean against the barrel, arms crossing loosely over my chest. You used to take risks. Blend with instinct, not just data. This tastes like a decision made on paper, not in the vineyard. Rex exhales, rubbing his neck. You think I played it too careful? I don't say anything. He already knows the answer. He lets out a quiet laugh, shaking his head. Damn, 5 years later and you're still calling me out? I shrug, lips curving slightly. Someone has to keep you honest. His eyes catch mine, something warm flickering there, something dangerously close to what once was. You always did, he says, voice lower now. Even when I didn't want to hear it. I swallow, heart knocking against my ribs. Yeah, well, you never listened. Rex sets the glass down on the barrel and steps closer. Close enough that I can smell the faintest trace of cedar and something darker beneath it. Something purely him. I did, he murmurs. I always listened to you, Kortnie. I don't realize I'm holding my breath until he's right there, so close I could tilt my chin up and touch him. For a moment, I think he's going to. I want him to. He exhales, breaking the moment, and steps back. All right, he says, clearing his throat. We'll adjust the blend, take a different approach. I nod, ignoring the way my skin burns where his hand almost touched mine. Good. He watches me for a moment longer. Something unreadable in his expression. He nods and turns, heading toward the other end of the room, his movements sure, steady. I breathe deeply, steadying myself. This is just work, just a project. I watch Rex move, hear the low timbre of his voice as he speaks to one of the staff members. I see some of him from the past that I cannot let go.
Chapter 4. Rex. The power cuts out just after sundown, plunging the tasting room into darkness so thick I have to pause to let my eyes adjust. The hum of the refrigeration unit silences. Outside, the cicadas are loud enough to remind me just how far from the city we are. Out here, where the stars do all the work the streetlights don't. Kortnie lets out a breath, and even though I can't see her face clearly, I can feel her stiffen. That's unfortunate, she mutters. I smirk, leaning a hip against the bar. That your professional opinion? She turns toward me, her silhouette barely visible in the dim glow filtering through the windows. No, my professional opinion is that whoever's in charge of the backup generator should be fired. Good thing I'm the boss, then. A huff of laughter escapes her, soft but sharp around the edges. And it's just us. No tension, no past. Just two people stuck in the dark with nothing but what could have been pressing in from all sides. I push off the bar, navigating toward the cabinets. Give me a sec. The emergency candle box is exactly where I left it. I pull one out, lighting the wick with a match, and the soft glow flickers across the room, stretching across the long wooden tables, bouncing off the rows of bottles lined up against the far wall. The flame dances over her features, and for a moment, she's just Kortnie. Not my ex, not the woman who walked away. Just the woman I've wanted every damn day for 5 years. I set the candle on the bar between us and grab a bottle from the closest rack. A good one. Something full-bodied. Something bold. Something that reminds me of her. You're really about to pour wine during a blackout? She asks, arching an eyebrow. You're really about to question that? I counter, pulling 2 glasses from the shelf. She looks like she's about to argue, but then she just shakes her head, exhaling slowly. Fine. But if this turns into some romantic gesture, I'm leaving. I uncorked the bottle, the pop of the seal breaking through the quiet. No one's stopping you, sweetheart. Her fingers twitch against the countertop, and I pretend not to notice how her throat moves when she swallows. I pour the wine, sliding a glass toward her, and lift mine in a slow toast. To unreliable power grids, I say. She exhales another laugh before clinking her glass against mine. And to men who refuse to let things go. Taking a sip, the wine rich and warm against my tongue. If I let things go, I wouldn't be standing here, would I? Her eyes darken, her fingers tightening around the stem of her glass. You really want to do this now? I watch her carefully. Do what? She lets out a frustrated breath, setting her glass down harder than necessary. This game you play, where you act like we're circling something when we both know exactly what's in the middle of the damn ring. I step around the bar, letting the candlelight stretch over her skin. And what's in the middle, Kortnie? Her breathing shifts, deepens just a little, but she holds her ground. A past that's too heavy to carry. Or a future we're both too scared to touch. She stills. The silence between us thickens, growing heavier than the humid night pressing in from outside. I see it in her face. She wants to run, but she wants to stay. I know that war because I feel it too. She exhales slowly. I don't think I can do this with you. I take the glass from her hand, setting it beside mine, before bracing my palms against the bar, caging her between my arms. Then don't think. Just be here. Her lashes flutter, but she stays still. That's not how this works, Rex. I lower my voice, keeping it steady. It could be. A beat passes. The candle flickers. The air between us pulls tight. Her chin lifts, those soft brown eyes searching mine, trying to find the version of me she used to trust. I told myself I wasn't going to let you get in my head again. I hold her gaze, unwavering. Lying to yourself has never been your strong suit, sweetheart. Her breath hitches, just barely. I shouldn't push her. Not yet. But I've never been the man who waits around when something he wants is right in front of him, close enough to touch. Tell me to back off, I murmur. She doesn't. I reach up slowly, brushing my fingers along the line of her jaw, tilting her face just enough to see every hesitation, every flicker of heat in her expression. She whispers, "This is a mistake." So was letting you go. Her hands press against my chest, not to push me away, but to hold me there. I take that as permission. I close the last inch of space between us, my lips hovering over hers, breath mingling, waiting for her to pull back. But she stands there, soft and stubborn, her pulse fluttering against my fingertips where they rest against her throat. Then, just as I think she's going to let me in, the lights flicker back on, breaking the spell. She jerks back, blinking rapidly to shake herself awake. Damn. I don't move. I just watch her, my chest rising and falling, the moment still pressing against my skin like a bruise. She turns quickly, grabbing her glass, drinking more than just a sip this time. Looks like we're back in business. Yeah, I say, voice rough. Looks like... She doesn't look at me when she sets her empty glass down. Doesn't acknowledge what just happened. Doesn't give me anything. Instead, she straightens, adjusts her sweater, and reaches for her bag. I should go. Big day tomorrow. I nod once, watching her move toward the door, still waiting for her to turn back, to say something, to do anything that proves this wasn't just in my head. But instead, she pulls the door open, hesitating for only half a second before stepping out into the night, leaving me standing in the middle of a room that suddenly feels too damn bright. I exhale, slow and controlled, rubbing a hand over my face. What was that?
Chapter 5. Kortnie. The morning sun filters through the gauzy curtains, warming my skin before I even open my eyes. My body is tangled in the sheets, one leg hooked over the twisted comforter, like I spent the night trying to outrun my own thoughts. I groan, turning onto my back, staring at the ceiling like it holds the answers to the mess I've gotten myself into. Last night, I let him get too close. Again, one blackout, one bottle of wine, one flickering candle. And suddenly, I was standing there letting Rex Montgomery back into the space he abandoned years ago, my heart. It should have been easy to walk away, to keep my head high and my emotions locked down. But then he touched me, soft and knowing, like he was testing what still lingers between us, like he was waiting to hear no. And the worst part, I didn't. I throw the covers off and sit up, pressing my fingers against my temples. This was never supposed to happen. I came here for one reason, to do my damn job, not to fall back into something that broke me. This can't happen again. I won't let it. I slide out of bed and head straight for the shower, letting the scalding water work through the tension in my shoulders, willing it to scrub away the heat of Rex's breath against my skin. By the time I step out, I feel more like myself, more in control. And when I make it to the vineyard, I'm ready for a fight. The fermentation room is already buzzing with movement when I walk in. Employees move between barrels, checking levels, adjusting temperatures, running their usual morning checks. It's comfortable, familiar, the work that doesn't require me to think about anything but numbers and process. He walks in. The room shrinks. I feel him before I even turn my head, his presence stretching over the space like a heat I can't escape. He moves easily, confidently, like he belongs here in a way I never will, like this land has always been his to command. He stops a few feet away, rolling up the sleeves of his button-down. "Good morning." I keep my expression blank. "Is it?" His lips twitch, just barely, before his gaze flickers to the tasting glass in my hand. "You get a chance to reassess the reserves?" I nod once. They need adjusting. His jaw ticks, like he expected that answer but doesn't like hearing it. "How much?" I tilt the glass slightly, watching the deep red swirl along the sides. "Enough that you're going to have to take a real risk if you want this project to be what you're selling it as." He exhales slowly, folding his arms across his broad chest. "And what exactly do you think I've been doing?" I level him with a look. "Playing it safe." His expression darkens, but before he can respond, I turn toward the barrel rack, grabbing a sample from the newer batches. "This blend you're working with? It's good, but it's not great. You've got solid structure, but there's no real risk in it. No edge. No reason for anyone to reach for this bottle over 100 others on the shelf." I pour the sample into 2 glasses, sliding one toward him. He takes it, but doesn't drink. "You used to blend with instinct," I continue, keeping my voice even. "Not numbers, not just logic. And definitely not with a boardroom full of investors breathing down your neck." Something flickers across his face. Quick, almost unreadable, but I catch it before he shutters his expression. "Things change, Kortnie," he says quietly. "Only if you let them." We stand there staring at each other. The quiet between us stretching too tight, too full of everything unsaid. Rex sets his glass down without taking a sip, his voice lower now. "About last night," I lift a hand, cutting him off before he can finish. "Don't." His brows draw together. "Court." I shake my head, heart thudding harder than I'd like to admit. "I told you when I took this job, I'm here for business. That's it. Not to revisit the past, not to talk about things that don't matter anymore." His jaw flexes. "You really believe that?" I hold his stare, forcing my spine to stay straight. "Yes." The muscle in his cheek jumps, but he nods once, slow and deliberate. "Fine. Fine." It should feel like a victory, but instead my stomach knots. "Let's get back to work," I say, pushing past him before he can say anything else. As I walk away, I pretend I don't feel his eyes on me.
Chapter 6. Rex. I watched Kortnie walk away like she didn't just carve me open with that perfect, detached tone. Like she didn't just tell me flat out that last night meant nothing. Like she doesn't care. I exhale through my nose, gripping the bar so tight my knuckles go white. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I knew she'd come back sharp, guarded, with walls thick enough to keep me on the outside. But knowing it doesn't make standing here, watching her shut me out, any easier. The door swings open and Bennett steps inside, his heavy boots scuffing against the floor. He takes one look at my face and sighs. So, that bad, huh? I push off the bar, rolling my shoulders. She's as stubborn as ever. Yeah, well, you always liked that about her. I ignore that and grab the stack of reports from the end of the counter, flipping through the numbers like they haven't already been drilled into my brain. The vineyard's in trouble. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon enough that the wrong move or the wrong person pulling the wrong strings could put everything under. We need to meet with DuPont, I say, snapping the folder shut. Now. Bennett's expression darkens. The investor? You sure that's a good idea? No, I don't have a choice. This land built my family. He has to know why this land is not for sale. DuPont has been circling the vineyard for months. He wants to buy us out, gut the place, strip it of its soul, and turn it into a mass-market production factory. He doesn't give a damn about the history here, doesn't give a damn about this land, and if I don't prove this vineyard is worth fighting for, he's going to take it right out from under me. Let's get this over with, I mutter, already heading for the door. The meeting takes place in my office, the large oak desk between me and DuPont, the only thing keeping me from throwing his smug ass out myself. He leans back in the leather chair, adjusting the cuffs of his overpriced suit like we're discussing the weather instead of my goddamn future. Rex, we both know where this is heading. The market is shifting. The industry is evolving. You can either adapt or get swallowed up. I cross my arms over my chest, leaning back against the desk. And by adapt, you mean sell. His lips curve into something that's supposed to be a smile. I mean make a smart decision. A profitable one. I exhale slowly, fighting the urge to tell him exactly where he can shove his offer. Not interested. His smile doesn't slip, but there's something sharper behind it now. Not yet. My fists clench. DuPont leans forward, folding his hands together. Look, I get it. This place means something to you. It's personal. But you're playing a losing game. And if you don't see that soon, you'll be forced to sell under much worse conditions. I keep my expression blank. I don't give him the reaction he's looking for. He stands, adjusting his tie, and I stay where I am, shoulders squared, jaw locked. I'll be in touch, he says smoothly, walking past me toward the door. Don't wait too long to come to your senses, Montgomery. The door swings shut behind him. Bennett exhales from the corner of the room. That guy makes my damn skin crawl. I don't answer. I just stare at the spot where DuPont had been sitting, jaw so tight it aches. I need a plan. A way to secure the vineyard before DuPont forces my hand. A way to make sure this place stays ours. For that, I need Kortnie. I find her in the aging room, standing in front of a row of barrels, fingers skimming lightly over the tops like she's listening to them, like she can feel the heartbeat of this place just as much as I can. I hesitate before stepping forward. We need to talk. She doesn't turn. If this is about last night, It's not. My voice is sharp, more impatient than I mean for it to be. She goes still for a beat before finally turning to face me, arms crossing in that way she does when she's bracing herself. I force my voice to steady. This place is in trouble. Something flickers in her expression, too quick to catch. I know. I've seen the reports. You don't know the half of it. I need you to stay on longer. Her brows lift slightly. That wasn't part of our deal. I'm renegotiating. She exhales, shifting her weight. Why? Because an investor is circling like a damn vulture. Because if I don't turn things around fast, I might not have a choice. I pause, watching her carefully. Because I need someone I can trust. She swallows, but doesn't look away. That's a dangerous word, Rex. I nod, slow. Yeah, but I mean it. There's silence between us for a while. She sighs, rubbing her temple. How long are we talking? 3 months. She blinks. 3? It's not enough time, but it's what I've got. She exhales sharply, shaking her head. You expect me to just drop everything for 3 months? You expect me to believe you were just going to walk away from this place without a second thought? Something flickers in her eyes, but she masks it quickly. Damn it, Rex. Taking another step forward while lowering my voice. Stay, help me fix this. Do what you came here to do. She lets out a breath, fingers pressing against her temples. I can see the war happening inside her. The part of her that wants to run. The part that wants to fight. Fine. Relief rushes through me, but I can't let it show. Instead, I nod. Good. She exhales one more time before pushing past me, muttering something under her breath as she leaves the room. I watch her go, my jaw tightening, my pulse pounding. This isn't just about the vineyard. This is about us. I'm not letting her slip away again.
Chapter 7. Kortnie. I tell myself I don't care. About staying longer. About getting tangled up in Rex's world again. About the way he looked at me when I finally muttered fine and gave him what he wanted. I tell myself I don't care. I almost believe it. Until I step into the vineyard later that afternoon and find Elliot Whitaker leaning against a wine barrel, watching me like I'm something worth discovering. Well, well, he drawls, pushing off the barrel with a lazy kind of grace. The famous Kortnie Daniels. I was beginning to think you were a myth. I arch an eyebrow, setting my clipboard against my hip. And who exactly has been telling tales about me? His smile is effortless, a slow, easy stretch that says he doesn't take life too seriously. Rex, mostly. My stomach tightens, but I keep my face smooth. Oh? Yeah. Elliot steps closer, eyes flicking over me in quick casual assessment. I asked him how a guy like him managed to get the best sommelier in the business out here. And you know what he said? Something charming and infuriating, I'm sure. Elliot grins. He just said, I didn't have a choice. His words settle with me. I should ignore it, brush it off. Instead, I shift my weight and clear my throat. And you must be Elliot? That's correct. I exhale a short laugh, shaking my head. Well, Elliot, looks like we'll be working together for a while. Lucky me. His gaze is steady, playful, interested. And I don't miss the way Rex stiffens, pretending to be focused on whatever numbers Bennett is running through with him. So I do what any self-respecting woman with a complicated past and a bruised heart would do. I let Elliot flirt. The sun is beginning to dip lower in the sky, the golden glow stretching long shadows across the vineyard as Elliot walks beside me, hands in his pockets, listening as I explain my approach to refining the wine. He nods along, genuinely invested, his head tilting slightly as he considers. You're saying the problem isn't the grapes, it's the blend? Exactly, I say, tapping my pen against my clipboard. Rex's team played it safe with the ratios. It's technically good, but it lacks character. Elliot smirks. So you're here to bring the personality back? Something like that. See, now that's a woman I'd like to share a bottle with. His words are light, teasing, but I catch the undercurrent beneath them, the awareness, the interest, and it feels so good to finally be noticed by a man who isn't carrying years of unfinished business between us. Across the field, I feel him before I see him. Rex stands near the old trellis, arms crossed, talking with the Bennett, but his focus is here, on me, on us. I turn back to Elliot, letting my lips curve just slightly. That depends. You planning on making a bottle worth sharing? Elliot lets out a low chuckle. Sweetheart, you let me know what you like, and I'll make you something unforgettable. Behind me, I know Rex is watching. I don't turn around. When I make it back to the main house, the sky is streaked with pink and amber, and my legs ache from walking the vineyard all day. I pull the band from my hair, shaking out the loose curls, and sink onto my favorite porch chair, stretching my arms overhead. The sound of boots on wood makes me glance up. Rex. His face is unreadable as he stops before me, the last bit of light catching on the hard set of his jaw. You and Whitaker seem to be getting along. I blink, tilting my head like I don't hear the very obvious edge in his voice. He's easy to work with. Rex exhales slowly, fingers flexing against his sides. He's easy, all right. I arch a brow. You don't like him? Doesn't matter what I like. His voice is rougher now, his frustration barely contained. What matters is if he's good enough to help you do what you came here to do. Something warm flickers through my chest. He's jealous. I shouldn't like it, but damn it, I do. I shift in my seat, feigning nonchalance. I think he could be useful. Rex lets out a quiet laugh, but there's nothing amused about it. I bet you do. I push up from my chair, stepping closer, tilting my head slightly. Something on your mind, Montgomery? His gaze drops to my mouth before snapping back up. Not a damn thing. Liar. Good night, Rex. I turn before he can say anything else, stepping into the house, letting the door close soft and slow behind me. I know he's still standing there watching, waiting.
You won't know what hit you, baby. I'm going to take you, break you, and make you mine. And when I'm done, you're...
Now hold on just a minute.
What?
I got something to say.
What's the meaning of this?
Now you may be some fine-looking white boy.
Got that right, baby. It takes hard work.
And you might got the money.
Fat stacks, baby, to spoil you with.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to give it up to you without a fight.
A fight?
You want some limp wilting flowers? Go to historical romance, baby. But you want sassy and spicy strong black queens that tame their alpha male bad boys?
I think our listeners do.
Then you go on and look at Miss Tyla's Bougie Brides and Billionaires audio bundle.
50 hours of me whispering the most romantic things in your ears. Fake marriages, alpha male billionaires, strong black women, steamy scenes that will make your eyes roll back. And everything wrapped up in a happily ever after that will put you in an afterglow.
Use code SAVE40 to get 40% off this bundle and any other digital product in Miss Tyla's store.
Unabridged and uncut.
Just like you?
You're gonna have to find out.
Tyla Walker Romances. Escape your life with sassy romance.
Chapter 8. Rex. I tell myself that I don't give a damn who Kortnie talks to. That watching Elliot lean in close, all charm and easy confidence, doesn't make my blood burn hotter than the midday sun over these vines. I tell myself that. And I'm a damn liar. From across the field, I see them standing near the old trellis, Elliot laughing at something Kortnie says. She tilts her head, her expression relaxed, too relaxed, and I see something I haven't seen in years. She's open, and not with me. Bennett mutters something about the irrigation schedule beside me, but I don't catch half of it because all I can focus on is the way Elliot looks at Kortnie like he's already imagining what she tastes like. He makes his move. How about I take you on a tour? Elliot asks, his voice carrying just enough for me to hear. Show you the parts of the vineyard you probably haven't seen yet? His hand lingers near the small of her back, hovering, like he's just waiting for permission to touch her. Something ignites. Before I can think better of it, I'm already moving in long, sure strides. Kortnie notices first. Her eyes flicker toward me, widening just slightly before she schools her expression into something unreadable. She knows. She knows exactly why I'm here. Elliot, on the other hand, doesn't catch on as fast. That won't be necessary. Elliot turns, brows lifting. Excuse me? I hold his gaze unwavering. Kortnie doesn't need a tour. She knows this vineyard better than anyone here. Kortnie exhales, tilting her head, her voice smooth as silk. I think I can decide that for myself, Rex. That does something to me. Hearing my name in that voice, in that tone, a challenge, a dare, a reminder that I don't own a damn thing about her. I force my shoulders to stay loose, my stance casual, even though my pulse is anything but. No doubt you can, I say, keeping my eyes locked on hers. But if you're looking for the best parts of the vineyard, you already know where they are. Elliot watches the exchange, something calculating flickering in his expression before he exhales a low chuckle, shaking his head. You always this territorial, Montgomery? I don't take the bait. I just offer him a slow, deliberate look. Only when it matters. Elliot studies me, then turns back to Kortnie, flashing that easygoing smile of his. Offer still stands, sweetheart. Kortnie's lips press together, something unreadable flashing across her face. Then, with a small shrug, she turns toward me instead. You seem so sure of yourself, Rex, she murmurs, crossing her arms. Why don't you take me on a tour? A slow heat coils low in my gut. I don't hesitate. Thought you'd never ask. We move through the vineyard side by side, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows over the rows of vines. Ripened fruit scents linger thick in the air, mingling with the warmth of the soil, the faintest trace of her perfume. It's too quiet between us, humming with things unsaid. After a long beat, she speaks. That was unnecessary. I glance at her. What was? She stops walking, leveling me with a look. You know what? I take my time, letting the silence stretch before answering. Elliot thinks this is a game. She exhales sharply, tilting her head. And what do you think this is? Something real. You don't get to be jealous, Rex. Not jealous, I correct, voice lower now. Just not willing to watch someone else act like they have a shot with you. She lets out a short, breathy laugh. That's not your call. Maybe not. I pause, watching her, waiting for her to meet my eyes. But we both know there's no room for another man between us. Her breath hitches, just barely. I step toward her again, inch by inch, watching her chest rise and fall, the way it looks like she's going to say something, then thinks better of it. The wind shifts, lifting a curl from her shoulder, brushing it against my arm. Damn if that small touch doesn't wreck me. You still feel it? I murmur. This isn't fair. Nothing about us ever was. Her eyes flicker, something raw beneath the frustration, and I think she's going to let me in. Just as fast, she steps back. This was a mistake, she mutters, turning on her heel, walking away before I say another word. I won't stop her. Not because I don't want to, but because this time I need her to turn back first.
Chapter 9. Kortnie. I don't stop walking, not when my heart is pounding, not when my skin is still burning from the way Rex looked at me, not even when I hear his footsteps behind me, his pace slow, controlled, like he knows I can feel him there, like he knows I'll have to turn around eventually. I don't. I keep my head high, my breath even, my hands curled into fists at my sides. It doesn't matter that my pulse is unsteady or that my chest feels too tight. Doesn't matter that his words, his low, impossible words, are looping in my mind like a song I can't shut off. There's no room for another man between us, like he can just say that, like he has any right to stand there and act like we're unfinished. I reach the small clearing near the old olive tree and stop abruptly, turning so fast that Rex nearly collides with me. Do you get off on ruining things for me? My voice shakes, but not from fear, from rage, from heat, from everything I refuse to feel. Rex takes his time answering, watching me like he's waiting to see just how far I'm willing to take this. Define ruining? I laugh, short and sharp. Don't play dumb, Rex. You can't stand the idea of me moving on, can you? His jaw flexes. Moving on? Is that what you call it? What would you call it? His lips part like he's about to answer, but then he stops, dragging a hand over his jaw. You're trying to make me jealous. Oh, so now it's my fault. You're the one letting Elliot flirt with you like it means something, he says, voice tight, controlled. Like you don't know damn well that he's just looking for an easy way in. My fury spikes, hot and instant. And you think I'm what? Some prize to be fought over? Some woman who doesn't know her own mind? I step toward her, my pulse hammering. You lost the right to be jealous a long time ago, Rex. Something flickers in his expression, something dark. Yeah? His voice drops lower, rougher. You sure about that? I should be. I should be able to stand here and tell him I don't care, that I haven't thought about him, that he doesn't still live in every inch of me. But when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. He knows it. Rex exhales slow and steady, taking a step closer, then another, until I can feel the heat of him, the sheer weight of him, until every cell in my body is screaming at me to back up, but I can't. I stand my ground, even when his fingers brush against my arm, slow and deliberate. Tell me to stop, he murmurs. I can't, because the truth is, I hope he doesn't. My breath catches, my body betraying me completely as he tilts his head, watching me like he's waiting for permission. You're playing with fire, I whisper. His lips curve just slightly. I always like the heat. My pulse stumbles, my lungs forgetting how to work, and suddenly, I can't hear anything but the pounding in my ears. The rush of blood beneath my skin, the way my name sounds on his breath. Tell me to stop, he says again, softer this time. I should. I have to. But then his fingers brush my waist. Just barely, and every single piece of me, every muscle, every inch of skin, every weak, desperate part of my heart betrays me. Because instead of stepping back, I lean in. Just a fraction. Just enough for his chest to brush mine. For his breath to mingle with mine. For the past to crash down on both of us like a tidal wave. Kortnie, he murmurs, my name a warning, a prayer. And for one dangerous, impossible second, I think he's going to kiss me. I want him to. God help me, I want him to. But then the sound of voices carries from the vineyard, snapping me back into reality like a bucket of cold water. I jerk back, heart hammering, hands shaking. My voice isn't steady. This was a mistake. Rex doesn't move, his chest rising and falling, his jaw tight. Say that like you believe it. I do. I have to. But I can't look at him when I whisper. I do. I turn and walk away, leaving my heart pounding somewhere between the vines.
Chapter 10. Rex. I watch her walk away. The sway of her hips, the tension in her shoulders, and how her hands curl into fists at her sides, trying to hold herself together. The air between us is still charged, humming with the electricity of everything we didn't say, everything we almost did. I exhale slow, controlled, forcing myself to stay rooted right where I am because if I take one step after her, I won't want to stop. She's not ready. Not yet, but she will be. I turn, making my way back toward the main house, my chest still tight with the ghost of her heat against me, her breath catching like she didn't expect to want me back, like she's fighting something she's already lost. If there's one thing I know for damn sure, it's that I've never backed down from a fight. Not when I know what's at stake, and not when I know I can win. Bennett is waiting for me outside the tasting room, arms crossed, his face unreadable. He doesn't say anything when I step up onto the porch, just lets his gaze track over me like he can see every single thought running through my head. After a beat, he exhales. That bad, huh? I don't answer, just push past him and into the tasting room, grabbing the first bottle of wine I see off the shelf. I twist the cork loose, pouring a glass, watching the way the liquid coats the sides. Bennett follows me in, shutting the door behind him. So, what's the plan? I lift the glass to my lips, swallowing the deep, bold blend one of the old vintages Kortnie and I once worked on together. The taste is rich, but lacking something. Something I only notice now because she noticed it first. I set the glass down, rolling my shoulders. The plan, I say slowly, is to remind her exactly what we had. Bennett lets out a low whistle. And what makes you so sure she still wants it? I level him with a look. She wouldn't have let me get that close if she didn't. Bennett shakes his head, muttering something under his breath before walking over to pour himself a glass. And you think that's enough? I lean back against the counter, crossing my arms. It's a start. He watches me before taking a sip. You've got work to do then? I nod. Yeah. And I need your help. His brows lift slightly. My help? With what? I push off the counter, setting my empty glass aside. We need to go over the next blends. If Kortnie says we've been playing it too safe, then let's push it. I want her to see that I still know what the hell I'm doing. Bennett tilts his head, considering me. You're not just trying to impress her. No. I meet his gaze. I'm trying to remind her who the hell I am. He exhales, nodding once. All right, let's get to work. I barely sleep that night. Too much is running through my head. The vineyard, the numbers that aren't quite working out, the way DuPont is still waiting in the shadows, circling like a damn vulture. But mostly it's her. The way she looked at me and almost let me in. By the time morning comes, I'm already up, already moving, already one step ahead. I find Kortnie near the barrel room, clipboard in hand, looking over something when I step inside. She doesn't look at me right away, but I can tell she knows I'm here. Her shoulders go stiff, her grip on the pen just a little too tight. Good. I like that I still get to her. She finally turns, her eyes guarded, cool. Rex. Kortnie. She shifts her weight, her tone clipped. Something you need? Yeah. I step forward, watching her breath hitch just barely before she squares herself again. I need your opinion. That catches her off guard. Her brows pull together slightly. On? I reach into the crate beside me, grabbing a bottle of the new blend I had Bennett put together late last night. She eyes it warily. This isn't one of the current vintages. No, I agree. It's something I adjusted after our last conversation. That surprises her. I see the flicker of hesitation, how she watches me more carefully now. You already adjusted the blend? I already knew you were right. I keep my voice even, steady. The batch was good, but it wasn't us. She swallows, and the pen in her fingers is still hovering above the clipboard. And what exactly is us, Rex? I don't break eye contact. Complicated, bold, unapologetic. I tilt the bottle slightly, like this wine. She hesitates, but then finally she reaches for the bottle, her fingers brushing mine for half a second, just long enough for the heat to settle between us. She doesn't pull away first. I let her take it, watching as she studies the label, running her thumb along the ridges of the glass. "Pour me a glass," she says, voice softer now. "Let's see if it's worth the trouble." I don't hesitate. I grab a glass, pouring the deep, rich blend, watching her lips move slightly when she catches the scent. She swirls the glass, takes a slow sip. Her eyes darken, something warm flashing across her face, something familiar. Since she's been back, I finally see it. She remembers. She still feels it. She sets the glass down carefully, pressing her lips together, like she's fighting a smile. Not bad. Not bad. She exhales slowly. It's better than before. Good. Then we're just getting started. She doesn't say anything, but doesn't leave either.
Chapter 11. Kortnie. The afternoon sun bleeds through the tall windows of the vineyard office, casting streaks of honey-colored light across the floor. Dust swirls in slow spirals where the beams hit the worn wooden desk, the surface cluttered with paperwork, harvest reports, soil analysis charts, blending notes, numbers and data that should command my attention. But they don't. Not when he is still in my head. I press my fingers against my temple, forcing myself to focus. I should be verifying production logs, cross-checking varietal yields, ensuring the vineyard's growth stays on track. Business. That's why I'm here. That's why I came back. Yet my mind keeps slipping. Back to Rex. Back to this morning. Back to the way his eyes held mine, steady and unyielding, as if he knew exactly what he was doing to me. Back to the taste of that wine. Deep, rich, unapologetically bold, just like him. I exhale sharply, pushing a loose curl behind my ear. My hand drifts toward the shelf, fingers brushing against old vineyard records, thick ledgers filled with years of history. I pull one down, flipping through the yellowed pages. A familiar weight settles in my chest. I know this place. I know these vines, but nothing feels certain anymore. My fingers pause. A thick envelope is tucked between two old production logs. It's folded neatly, as if someone meant for it to be kept safe. A strange feeling curls in my stomach as I pull it free. The paper is aged but firm. The ink faded yet unmistakable. Rex's handwriting. My pulse stutters. My fingers tighten around the edges as I unfold it. I start to read. Kortnie, I don't know if you'll ever see this. I don't think I'll ever be brave enough to say it out loud, but if I don't write it down, I think I'll lose my mind. I was going to tell you today that I choose you, that none of the money, the board meetings, the empire my father shoved down my throat ever meant a damn thing without you standing beside me. I was going to walk away from all of it. The business, the name, the legacy that was never really mine to begin with. I had everything ready, the contract signed, the vineyard expansion mapped out, the future waiting for us. You walked away first, and I didn't stop you because I thought maybe you already knew, that you already knew I would have picked you. But when I watched you leave, when I saw you disappear without looking back, I knew. I was too late. I keep telling myself it was meant to happen this way, that maybe you're better off, that maybe I was never enough for you in the first place. But damn it, Kortnie. If you ever wonder if you were the most important thing I ever had, know this. It was always you. Even when you walked away, even now. Rex. The letter shakes in my hands. My breath comes in shallow bursts. My chest hurts. No, this can't be real. I press a hand over my lips as if that might steady the storm building inside me. He was going to choose me. My heart slams against my ribs. My vision blurs as I read the words again, but the letters refuse to shift, refuse to change, refuse to let me go. He was going to walk away from everything. For me. For us. I never knew. A ragged breath escapes me. Shaking, uneven. I thought he had chosen. I thought I was the fool for believing I could ever come first. But I was wrong. 5 years. 5 damn years. I squeeze my eyes shut, pressing the letter against my chest as if it can hold me together, as if it can keep the regret from clawing its way up my throat. I have to find him. Now. Slamming the file shut, I push away from the desk, the chair scraping against the wooden end floor. My pulse thunders in my ears as I shove the door open, stepping into the courtyard, bathed in the glow of the setting sun. The vineyard stretches around me, rows of vines swaying in the breeze, but all I see is him. Rex stands near the fermentation tanks, deep in conversation with Bennett, his hands moving as he explains something. His expression is calm, like he has no idea his past is about to collide with him. I don't hesitate. Rex! His head snaps up. His brows pull together at the sound of my voice. I don't stop. I don't slow down. I shove the letter against his chest. His hands catch it instinctively, his face flickering with confusion. What the? Why didn't you tell me? My voice is unsteady, raw, thick with something I don't know how to name. Recognition dawns instantly. His entire body goes still. Shock, pain, hesitation. His throat works as he swallows hard. Why didn't you tell me, Rex? My voice rises. Why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you fight for me? He flinches. Actually flinches. His fingers tighten around the letter. His jaw locks. His breath comes slow and controlled. I thought you knew, he says finally, voice rough. You thought what? My breath catches. That I could just walk away if I had known the truth. That I wouldn't have. I stop myself. Because saying it, admitting it, is too much. But he knows. His throat bobs as he swallows. And after a long, aching moment, he exhales, voice low, broken. I was too late, Kortnie. The words wreck me. Because the worst part isn't that he never told me. The worst part is that we lost each other. For no reason at all.
Chapter 12. Rex. The letter is still in my hands, the edges crumpled where she shoved it against my chest. The ink is smudged from the pressure of her grip, like she wasn't sure whether to crush it or cling to it. My fingers tighten around the paper as I stare at her, at the way she stands rigid, her arms crossed, her breath uneven. She's waiting for me to speak, waiting for me to tell her something that will make the past 5 years make sense. But there's nothing I can say that will change what's already happened. Say something, she demands, her voice sharper now, cutting through the heavy silence between us. I drag a hand over my face, exhaling slowly. What do you want me to say, Kortnie? She lets out a bitter laugh, shaking her head. Are you serious? I hold her gaze. Yeah, I am. Her hands drop to her sides, fingers curling into fists as she steps closer. You were going to choose me, she says, her voice breaking slightly before she forces it back into something steadier. I don't respond right away. I don't have to. The proof is in her hands, in the ink on that page, in the weight of 5 years that neither of us can take back. You were going to walk away from everything, she presses, her voice rising. From your father's company, from everything you built. Yeah, Kortnie, I cut in, my voice rough. I was. She inhales sharply like she hadn't expected me to admit it so easily. Like she thought I would try to deny it or spin it into something else. But I'm done pretending. Done hiding. Then why didn't you tell me? She demands. Why did I have to find out from a letter buried in a stack of records? I step toward her, the letter still clenched in my grip. Because you didn't give me the chance. She flinches, tiny, almost imperceptible movement, but I catch it. "What?" she breathes. "You left," I say, my voice low but steady. "You packed your bags, walked away, and never looked back. You made up your mind before I ever had the chance to tell you the truth." Her brows knit together, her breath catching for just a second before she shakes her head. "No, I left because you never gave me a reason to stay. I left because you didn't stop me, because you let me believe that." She stops herself, biting her lip, like the words are too painful to say out loud. "You thought I chose my career over you," I say, watching her closely. "That I let you go because the business mattered more." Her throat bobs as she swallows, her fingers trembling slightly. She doesn't deny it. "But I didn't," I continue, my voice quieter now, but firm. She blinks hard, her lashes fluttering as if she's trying to make sense of everything, as if she's rewriting the past in her mind, piece by piece, realizing it doesn't fit the way she always thought it did. "Court," I murmur, stepping closer. "I was coming after you that night." Her head snaps up. "What?" "I was coming after you," I repeat, my voice rough with the memory. "I had the paper signed. I was done with the board, with the business, with all of it. I was going to ask you to stay to build this vineyard with me." She sways slightly, her balance shifting like the ground beneath her just cracked wide open. "But when I got to your apartment, you were already gone," I finish. She stares at me, her breath shallow, her lips parted slightly like she wants to say something, but doesn't know how. Then in a voice so quiet I almost don't hear it, she whispers, "You." But she stops herself, shaking her head. She takes a shaky breath before looking up at me again. "Why didn't you find me?" she finally asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I lift my chin, my throat tight as I force myself to answer. "Because I thought you'd already made your choice." A beat of silence stretches between us, heavy with everything we lost. Then she exhales a soft, disbelieving breath and murmurs, "I hated you." The words hit harder than I expect. I close my eyes for half a second, pressing a hand against my chest because it aches in a way I can't explain. "I know," I murmur. She shakes her head, blinking rapidly. "I hated you for not choosing me, for throwing us away like we didn't matter, for letting me walk out that door." I swallow hard, my fingers tightening into fists. "You think I let you go?" My voice is raw now. "I was destroyed when you left, Kortnie. You were my future, my damn heart." Her breath stutters, her hands trembling now. "But you didn't know that," I continue, voice rougher now. "Because I never told you." Her lips press together, her jaw locks. "No, you didn't." Regret slams into me like a freight train. She waited for me to prove it, and I didn't. Now, 5 years later, we're standing here, staring at each other with too much history between us, too much regret that neither of us can erase. I exhale hard, raking a hand through my hair. "So what now?" She looks down at the letter still in my hands, then back up at me, her expression unreadable. Her chest rises and falls, her breathing slow, steady, measured. "I don't know," she whispers. "The worst part? Neither do I." "You think you can catch me? You think you can tame me?"
Oh, I know I can. And you know it too, baby.
I gotta tell you, you're not the first to try.
But don't worry, baby. I'll be the last.
With sass like that, maybe I'll be the one that needs to tame you.
Let's cut to the chase, big boy. What you selling me?
Your appetite is big AF. I have just the thing that'll satisfy you.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Over 120 hours of romance audiobooks. Brought to you by Tyla Walker Romances in the Big AF audio bundle.
120 hours? That sounds amazing.
Your knees won't work afterwards if I do my job right.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, I can keep this promise. Because these audiobooks are unabridged with all the spicy scenes that will make you put your earbuds on. Tyla can get freaky because she marked the bundle down by 69% for a limited time.
I can't wait to take this bundle for a ride.
Visit TylaWalker.com and get this audio bundle. Just don't start listening if you're going to be cooking dinner, because you might just forget to feed your family.
TylaWalker.com. Escape your life with Tyla.
Chapter 13. Kortnie. The world feels like it's tilting, like the ground beneath me has shifted just enough to leave me unsteady, uncertain. Everything I thought I knew about Rex, about us, about the night I walked away, has unraveled in the span of a few minutes. I feel it everywhere, in the tightness of my chest, in the uneven way my breath escapes me, in the way my hands shake, no matter how hard I try to still them. I thought I had the truth. I thought I had built my life around certainty, around the fact that Rex had chosen his career, his legacy, his name over me. I thought walking away had been my only option, the only way to save myself from the heartbreak of watching him put something else first. But now I don't know a damn thing. The letter still hangs between us, the weight of it pressing down on my lungs. I can't look at it. I can't look at him. Not when my mind is racing, twisting, forcing me to remember moments I had buried, forcing me to wonder if I had been wrong all along. I walked away because I thought he had already made his choice. I thought I had no reason to stay. But what if I never gave him the chance to prove otherwise? What if I had left before he could stop me? The realization makes my stomach twist, sharp and aching. I need air. I push away from the desk, my movements quick, almost frantic. The walls of the office feel smaller now, suffocating, as if the weight of the past is pressing in on me all at once. Kortnie? His voice stops me before I reach the door. There's something different in it now, something rough and unsteady, something that makes my chest tighten even more. I force myself to turn around, to meet his gaze. His expression is unreadable, his shoulders tense, his grip still firm around the letter. He looks like he doesn't know whether to hold on to it or let it go. I don't know what to do with this, I whisper. Rex's brows pull together. What? This, I say, motioning between us. My voice cracks at the edges, betraying me. This truth, this, I swallow hard, shaking my head. I spent 5 years thinking you made your choice, Rex, thinking you let me walk away without a second thought. His jaw flexes, something dark flickering in his eyes. But you were going to choose me, I say, my voice softer now, almost like I don't believe it even as I say it out loud. You were going to walk away from everything, and I never knew. Rex exhales slowly, dragging a hand through his hair, his fingers gripping the back of his neck as if he's trying to ground himself. When he finally speaks, his voice is rough. I thought there was more time. A bitter, humorless laugh escapes me before I can stop it. Yeah, well, so did I. Silence settles between us, thick and heavy. The weight of what could have been hangs over our heads, like a storm cloud, thick with unspoken words, with years of regret neither of us knows how to erase. He steps closer. I step back. His eyes darken. Kortnie. I can't, I say, my voice cracking slightly. I can't do this right now. Rex's entire body goes still. Do what? His voice is measured, but I hear the edge beneath it. This, I say, motioning vaguely. This whole past tense confession, like it changes anything. It doesn't undo what happened, Rex. It doesn't erase the fact that we lost 5 years of our lives believing things that weren't true. Something flickers in his expression, something quick and sharp, but he doesn't let it show for long. He shifts, shoulders straightening, his grip on the letter tightening. So what? He asks, his voice quiet but firm. You want me to apologize for not stopping you? My breath catches. You could have tried. Rex exhales harshly, his frustration flashing for the first time. I did try, Kortnie. You just didn't wait long enough to see it. The words hit like a slap. Not because they're cruel, but because they might be true. I open my mouth, ready to argue, ready to fight. But the fight dies before it even begins. Because what is there to say? I left. He let me. We've been living with the consequences ever since. I press my fingers against my temple, squeezing my eyes shut for a moment before looking at him again. He's watching me, his gaze unwavering, his breathing steady but shallow. We can't change the past, I say finally. We can't go back and do it differently. His jaw tightens, but he nods. I know. I take another step back. I need time. His expression shifts slightly, something unreadable flickering across his face, but he doesn't argue. You have it, he says quietly. The words linger in the air between us, heavy and full of things neither of us knows how to say. I swallow hard, turning toward the door. My fingers curl around the handle, my knuckles white. I should walk out. I should leave before I let myself hope. But I don't move, not yet. Rex? I say, my voice barely above a whisper. He doesn't hesitate. Yeah? I glance over my shoulder, my heart pounding, my stomach twisted into something unrecognizable. If I had known that night, if you had told me, I pause, forcing myself to breathe before finishing. I would have stayed. The confession hangs between us, raw and vulnerable. His lips part slightly, his eyes locking onto mine, and for a split second I see it. The same regret, the same what if that has been haunting me since I found that letter. But I can't stay here. Not yet. I push the door open, stepping out into the vineyard, the warm evening air wrapping around me. I don't stop. I don't look back. This time, Rex doesn't stop me. As I walk away, I know we're not done. Our story isn't done yet.
Chapter 14. Rex. I watch Kortnie leave. I don't go after her. Not this time, because chasing her with words won't fix this. She spent 5 years believing a lie, thinking I let her walk away without a fight, thinking I chose my family's empire over her. And now that she knows the truth, she doesn't know what to do with it. Hell, neither do I. If I've learned anything about Kortnie Daniels, it's that she doesn't do halfway. She doesn't want just words. She wants proof. I'm about to give it to her. The first thing I do is call my attorney. She picks up on the third ring, voice clipped and professional. Rex, I was just about to call you. I have updates on the upcoming merger proposal and... Scrap it, I cut in. A pause. Then, slower, more cautious. Excuse me. I'm done, I say, pacing my office, my grip tightening around the phone. I want out of the Montgomery Corp board. The silence on the other end is thick. Rex, she says carefully. That's a multi-million-dollar decision. Your father. My father can do whatever the hell he wants, I snap. I'm done being his puppet. Draft the paperwork. Get me out. Another pause. Then, after a long breath. All right. I'll set up the transition process, but you should know, this won't be an easy exit. Nothing worth it ever is, I mutter before ending the call. Next, I call DuPont. The bastard has been circling the vineyard like a damn vulture, waiting for a wrong move to get desperate enough to sign it all away. Time to put him in his place. Rex, he answers smoothly, like he already knows why I'm calling. I was wondering when you'd come to your senses. I have, I say, voice cold, firm. The vineyard isn't for sale. A beat of silence. Then a low, amused chuckle. Oh, come on now, Montgomery. We both know that's a short-sighted decision. I lean against my desk, gripping the edge. You think I don't know what you're trying to do? You've been wanting me to fold, to need your money bad enough to sign over everything my family built. DuPont exhales slowly, like he's suddenly losing patience. Your vineyard is struggling, Rex. You might not see it now, but in a year, maybe 2, you'll be calling me with an offer. Don't hold your damn breath. Then I hang up. I spend the next few days in the vineyard, throwing myself into the work the way I haven't in years. I meet with the harvest crew at dawn, walking the rows, checking the grapes with my own damn hands. I overhaul the production schedule, reorganizing the blending process, using the instincts I buried under corporate spreadsheets and investor meetings. I sit with Bennett for hours, going over distribution channels, shifting priorities to keep everything in-house instead of selling out to mass-market vendors. When I'm not doing that, I'm thinking about her, wondering if she sees the changes, wondering if she even cares, wondering if she'll ever let me prove it. 3 days later, I get my answer. Kortnie is standing near the small reserve barrels when I find her, clipboard in hand, skimming through blending notes. She doesn't look up right away. I take my time approaching, watching how she chews the inside of her cheek, focused, thoughtful. You're working late, I say, voice even. She startles slightly like she wasn't expecting me. So are you. Guess we both have something to prove. She finally looks at me then, eyes sharp but searching. Word around the vineyard is that you shut down the DuPont deal. I nod, leaning a hip against the barrel beside her, and resigned from the Montgomery Court board. Her eyes widen, just slightly, but I catch it. You actually... I told you, I say, voice steady, deliberate. This vineyard is my future, not my father's business. Not some investor's money. This... I motion around us at the wine, the land, the vines that have been here for generations. This is what I choose. She exhales, shaking her head, her fingers tight around the clipboard. Rex. I know it's not enough, I cut in, watching her carefully. I know you don't trust this yet, trust me yet, but I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for a chance to earn it. She doesn't say no, but there's no yes either. Instead, she sets the clipboard down, pressing her fingers against the barrel, her breathing shallow. I lower my voice. Tell me what you're thinking. She hesitates, then shakes her head. I don't know. I don't... She exhales sharply, looking up at me, frustration and something softer beneath it. I just don't want to be stupid about this, Rex. I'm almost close enough to touch her, but not yet. Then don't be, I murmur. Be careful, be smart, be as damn stubborn as you want. I pause, lowering my voice even more. Just don't pretend you don't still feel it. Her eyes darken, the heat, the tension, the 5 years of space between us shrinking by the second. She opens her mouth, maybe to argue, maybe to deny it, but before she can say a word, Bennett calls from outside the room. Hey, Kortnie, you got a second? She exhales hard, breaking away from my gaze like she needs the distance to breathe. Yeah, she calls back, voice slightly unsteady. Think about it, I murmur. She exhales one more time. Then she turns and walks out. But this time, I know she'll be back.
Chapter 15. Kortnie. I know something's wrong the second I step into the main house. The air feels too heavy. The quiet stretching just a little too long. People glance at me, then away. Conversations pause as I walk by. Whispers floating just low enough that I can't catch the words. My stomach tightens. Something isn't right. I head straight for my laptop in the office, my fingers hovering over the trackpad, hesitation curling inside me like a warning. Don't look. Don't do this to yourself. But I already know I will. The second I open my email, my worst fear is staring back at me. Subject: damage control needed ASAP. Kortnie. Have you seen the Wine and Spirits daily report? The story is spreading, and I'm getting calls left and right. Clients are worried. Distributors are questioning your credibility, and I want to know what your next move is. Call me now. Adrian. A chill runs down my spine. Wine and Spirits Daily, a major industry publication. I click the link before I can talk myself out of it, and the second the article loads, my breath catches in my throat. From sommelier to scandal, Kortnie Daniels' questionable business dealings. Rumors are circulating that renowned sommelier Kortnie Daniels is personally invested in Montgomery Vineyards, the struggling estate currently on the brink of financial collapse. Sources claim Daniels has abandoned professional neutrality and is using her influence to bolster the vineyard's reputation, despite questionable financial stability. Many in the wine industry are beginning to ask, is Kortnie Daniels still the objective expert we once believed her to be? I slapped the laptop shut, my pulse pounding. My career, the thing I built with my own hands, my own sweat, my own damn name, is unraveling right before me. And all because I got too close to Rex Montgomery. Again. The air is too thick, the walls pressing in. I can't breathe, can't think, can't. Kortnie! I look up so fast my vision tilts. Rex is standing in the doorway, his expression dark, his brows pulling together the second he sees my face. He knows. I can see it in his eyes. What happened? His voice is steady, controlled, but I hear the edge beneath it. The undercurrent of anger. I inhale sharply through my nose, forcing the words out before they can choke me. I've been blacklisted. His jaw locks. What the hell are you talking about? I push the laptop toward him. Read it yourself. He hesitates for half a second, then steps forward, his gaze dropping to the screen. I watch as he takes it in. The way his shoulders tense, the way his fingers flex at his sides, like he's 1 second away from putting his fist through the wall. When he finally looks up, his expression is deadly calm. This is crap. It doesn't matter if it is, Rex. It's out there, and in this industry, reputation is everything. His hands press into the desk, his knuckles white. Who started it? Does it matter? My voice wobbles, and I hate it. Hate the way my emotions are clawing their way to the surface. Hate the way this moment feels like something I can't stop. Of course it matters, Rex snaps. Somebody's trying to take you down, and I need to know who. I rub my hands over my face, trying to hold on to the last shreds of my composure. It could be anyone. A competitor, a pissed-off investor, a rival vineyard looking to knock me off the map. My chest's aching. Or maybe it's just someone who thinks a woman in this business can't stand on her own. Rex's breath comes in slow and controlled, but I can feel the heat rolling off of him. The anger, the protectiveness. I'll fix this, he says. You can't just throw money at this, Rex. This isn't a corporate deal you can buy your way out of. His jaw ticks. I know that. Do you? Because if I stay here, if I keep working with you, my reputation is dead. No one will trust me. No one will hire me. My career, my throat tightens, and I hate the way the words feel like glass in my mouth. Everything I built will be gone. Rex stares at me, his hands still braced on the desk, his body taut, controlled, dangerous. Then leave, he says, voice low, almost a dare. Go ahead, Kortnie. Walk away. Again. A deep silence falls between us. My hands are shaking now, really shaking. You think this is about you? I whisper, the words thick and sharp. You think I want to leave? That this is just me running away? His jaw flexes, but he doesn't answer. I didn't spend years building my career just to let it go up in flames because of you. Then fight, he growls. his voice low, rough. If this is your dream, Kortnie, then fight for it. Fight for us. I flinch, because there it is. Us. The thing we both keep circling. Pretending like it's not the reason we're standing in this room, staring at each other like we're 2 seconds from either killing each other or... I cut the thought off. I can't. I can't do this right now. My heart is pounding too hard, my chest too tight, my entire world crashing down around me. I need time. I need air. I take an unsteady step back. I need time to think. His eyes darken, but he nods once, just barely. I turn before I can stop myself and let the way he's looking at me ruin what little control I have left. I step out of the office, away from him, away from everything I'm suddenly terrified of losing. I know one thing for certain. I'm running out of time.
Chapter 16. Rex, the second Kortnie walks out of my office. I know I've got about 10 seconds before I do something stupid. Something reckless. Something like following after her and refusing to let her leave until she sees what's right in front of her. But I can't. Instead, I stand there, breathing through the rage simmering just under my skin, forcing myself to think. To fix this before it spirals any further. Someone came after her. After her name, her career, her reputation. I know exactly why. Because she's tied to me. And people love nothing more than watching a woman's success crumble under a man's mistakes. Over my dead body. I push off my desk, grabbing my phone and hitting a number I rarely use anymore. It rings twice before my father picks up. Rex, I don't bother with small talk. Did you have anything to do with this? A pause. Then, slow and measured. Do with what? You know what the hell I'm talking about. My grip tightens on the phone. The article. The smear campaign against Kortnie. Don't play dumb. Another beat of silence, then a low chuckle. I've warned you about that woman for years. Told you she'd be a distraction. Told you you'd ruin yourself over her. Something sharp and dangerous flares in me. Answer the damn question. I didn't have to, he says smoothly. Your enemies are watching, Rex, and they see what's happening. They see the way you're throwing away the business I built for some woman who... I hang up before I do something I can't take back. Like tell my father exactly where he can shove his legacy. When I find Kortnie, she's in the storage room, pacing between the stacked barrels, phone clutched in one hand, her other pressed to her forehead. I don't hesitate. I step inside, closing the door behind me. I'll take the blame. She stops so fast she nearly stumbles. What? I close our distance in 3 strides, my pulse hammering, my entire body locked in on her. This is happening because of me, because of my name, my business, my past. Let me take the hit. I'll issue a statement saying the article was a lie, that I was the one trying to get you to stay, that... No. The word is sharp, immediate, cutting through my thoughts before I even finish. I narrow my eyes. Kortnie. I said no. She exhales sharply, shoving her phone into her back pocket before crossing her arms over her chest. You don't get to swoop in and sacrifice yourself to fix this, Rex. That's not how this works. My jaw tightens. I caused this mess. She glares, and I'm not some damsel in distress who needs you to clean it up. I exhale, pacing now. Kortnie, your entire career is at risk because you're standing too close to me. Then let me handle it, she snaps. Let me figure out how to fight for myself instead of you trying to fix everything for me. I stop pacing, turning toward her. You think this is just about fixing it? She presses her lips together, something flickering in her expression, something wounded and furious and real. What else would it be about? I have to protect you. She laughs, but it's breathless and sharp, like she doesn't know whether to be pissed or exhausted. I don't need a protector, Rex. I need a partner. The words hit me deep. She's shaking, her arms still wrapped around herself. Do you get that? Do you understand what that means? I stare at her, my pulse pounding. I exhale. Yeah, Kortnie. My voice drops lower, rougher. I get it. She holds my gaze, and for once I actually see her. The woman who built herself up from nothing, who took risks, who fought for every single damn thing she has. I see now what I did wrong back then. I thought choosing her meant giving up everything else. I thought love was about grand gestures. But that's not what she needed. She needed a partner. Someone who stood beside her, not in front of her, shielding her from the fight. I get closer. This time she doesn't move away. What do you want me to do? Her breath catches. She exhales slowly, something softer creeping into her eyes. I want you to fight with me, not for me. The heat between us shifts, something real settling in. I nod, just once. Then let's fight. She watches me for another second, searching my face for something. Slowly, she nods back. The war isn't over, but we're finally fighting together.
Chapter 17. Kortnie. The sun is sinking lower over the vineyard, spilling streaks of amber and deep violet across the sky, but my mind is anywhere but here. I keep replaying everything from earlier. Rex's offer to take the blame, the way he looked at me when I told him I didn't need a savior. I needed a partner. The way he actually listened. Now, I'm standing near the old trellis, arms wrapped around myself, trying to drown out the noise in my head, when Elliot walks up beside me. "You look like you're thinking too hard," he says, his voice smooth. I probably am. He leans against the wooden post, tilting his head slightly. "You want to talk about it?" I hesitate, because Elliot has been nothing but easy. No pressure, no expectations, no ghosts from the past clawing at my ribs every time he looks at me. But maybe that's the problem. I shift my weight, staring out at the vineyard, the rows of vines stretching under the dusky sky. Everything is a mess right now. He nods like he already knows. That article was a low blow. I huff a short, humorless laugh. That's one way to put it. Elliot exhales, studying me for a long beat before speaking again. "You could walk away, you know." I blink, turning to face him. "What?" "You don't have to stay in the middle of all this," he says, his voice softer now. "You don't owe Rex, or this vineyard, or anyone else your career, your reputation, or your peace of mind." He pauses, watching me carefully. "You could start over, anywhere you want." My stomach tightens, my pulse skipping. I shake my head. "It's not that simple, isn't it?" He steps closer, his hands tucked into his pockets, his voice low, persuasive. "Kortnie, you're the best in the business. You could land a new job at any top winery in the world. Hell, I could make a few calls, get you a fresh start somewhere that actually appreciates you." The offer lingers between us. A clean break, a new beginning. No ghosts, no history, no Rex. For a fleeting moment, I actually consider it. Because Elliot is right. I could go. I could choose to walk away from all of this, put everything behind me, rebuild my career without this vineyard, this scandal, this man. But the thought of leaving feels wrong. Not just because of my work, not just because of my reputation, but because of him. Rex, just hours ago, telling me he would fight beside me, not for me, with me. Because as much as I hate it, the fight isn't just about my career anymore. It's about us. I don't know. Elliot watches me closely, his gaze understanding, but something else too, something knowing. "You still love him?" The words hit hard, like they're not even a question, just a fact he's been wanting me to say out loud. I inhale sharply. "It's not..." He gives me a sad kind of smile. You don't have to explain it to me, sweetheart. I knew the second I met you that your heart belonged to someone else. My chest tightens. I hate that he can see it so clearly when I've spent years trying not to. Elliot exhales, shifting his weight. I'm not trying to push you into anything, Kortnie. I think you should know you have options. That if you ever decide this isn't what you want, you don't have to stay. His voice is gentle, kind. And I appreciate it more than I can say. But it doesn't change the truth. I've already made my choice. I think, maybe, I made it the second I stepped back onto this vineyard. I swallow hard, forcing a small, grateful smile. Thanks, Elliot. He nods, reading between the lines. Yeah, anytime. He squeezes my shoulder lightly before turning and walking away, leaving me standing there alone.
Chapter 18. Rex. I find Elliot waiting near the main house, arms crossed, leaning against the old wooden fence like he has something to say. I already know I'm not going to like it. I slow my steps, rolling my shoulders back, preparing myself for whatever nonsense he's about to throw at me. Because I saw him earlier. Saw him standing too damn close to Kortnie under the trellis, looking at her like he had a right to. Like he was waiting for something. I stop, arms hanging loose at my sides, my voice flat. Something you need. Elliot tilts his head, his expression unreadable. Not really. He pauses, then exhales. But I think you do. I narrow my eyes. Is that right? Yeah. He straightens, shoving his hands in his pockets. But there's nothing casual about the way he's watching me. You keep playing this game like you have all the time in the world, but you don't. My jaw locks. You think I don't know that? Elliot lifts a brow, his gaze sharp, assessing. I think you're still waiting for her to come to you. Like you're so damn sure she won't leave again. But what if you're wrong? I still, because I've thought about it. Even if it kills me. I know the way Kortnie thinks. I know the way she protects herself. How she chooses herself first when she feels like no one else will. I know she's on the edge of making that choice again. Elliot's watching me too closely. You ever ask yourself if maybe she'd be better off without you? The words hit hard. Not because they're cruel, but because they're not. Because they're honest. I clench my fists, looking away for a beat, breathing through the lump in my throat. You got something to say, just say it. Elliot lets out a breath, shaking his head. I like her. I think we both know that. My entire body tenses. But I also know she's still in love with you, he continues. Which means you've got an advantage. He pauses, holding my gaze. For now. I exhale sharply, stepping in closer. You trying to stake a claim, Whitaker? He chuckles. If I was, you'd already be too late. My chest tightens, but I keep my voice level. Then why are we having this conversation? Because for some reason she still wants you, he says, matter of fact, like he's just stating the weather. And you're either too proud or too scared to admit that you might not be what she needs anymore. That one lands. Hard. I step back, trying to force the words out of my head. But they won't leave. She might be better off without you. She might not need you anymore. Elliot nods slowly, like he sees it hit. Like he knows exactly where to aim the next shot. Look, man, he says, voice dropping lower. I can't be the guy standing in your way. But if you don't give her a reason to stay, you're gonna lose her again. He lifts a shoulder. And this time, I don't think she's coming back. I breathe through the tightness in my chest, through the truth sitting heavy between us. Then I nod once. You done? Elliot studies me for another second before shaking his head. Yeah, Rex. I'm done. He turns and walks away. I let myself wonder if maybe he's right. If maybe Kortnie really would be better off without me.
Chapter 19. Kortnie. It's quiet around here tonight. The sky stretched wide with streaks of deep indigo and gold. A warm breeze rustles through the vines, carrying the scent of ripe grapes, of earth, of memories I can't seem to outrun. I shouldn't feel like this. Like I'm caught in the in-between, standing at a crossroad. Like no matter which way I turn, I'll still be reaching for something I can't quite touch. And I know Elliot is wanting me to make a choice. I hear his footsteps before I see him. The easy sound of boots against gravel, steady and unhurried. He's always steady, always there. But he's not Rex. That's the part that kills me. I turn as he steps closer, the lantern strung along the trellis casting a soft glow over his face. He tilts his head slightly, watching me with that quiet, knowing expression. "You called," he says. I nod, shifting my weight, tucking my arms around myself like that'll somehow brace me for what's coming next. Elliot exhales, shoving his hands into his pockets. I have a feeling I know where this is going. I hate that I'm about to hurt him, because he deserves so much better than a woman who's still in love with a man who broke her heart. I wet my lips, exhaling slowly. "Elliot, I stop, shaking my head because the words feel too small for what I have to say. "You've been good to me?" He lets out a soft, sarcastic chuckle. That's usually how bad conversations start. My stomach's nodding. "You're kind and funny and easy to be around. And I really, really wanted to feel something more with you." His jaw tightens just slightly, but he doesn't interrupt. I force myself to keep going, even though my chest feels like it's caving in. "But the truth is," I swallow hard, "you're not him." Elliot exhales through his nose, nodding slowly, like he knew, like he always knew. That's the worst part. I hate that I let it get to this point, that I let him think there was even a chance, when deep down, I knew there wasn't. No matter how much Rex has hurt me, no one else has ever... I pause, my chest squeezing around the words. No one else has ever felt like home. The wind moves between us, carrying my confession. The honesty of it pressing down like a slow, steady ache. Elliot studies me for a long moment before blowing out a breath, tilting his head toward the sky. "Damn," he mutters. "That's rough." A laugh bubbles out of me, sharp and unexpected, and the tension breaks momentarily. I press a hand to my forehead, shaking my head. "I'm so sorry." Elliot lets out a soft sigh. "Don't be." I meet his eyes, searching for resentment, anger, frustration. But all I see is understanding. That makes it even worse. He shifts his weight, offering me a small, tired smile. "I knew what I was walking into with you. Hell, I think I even told Rex that if he didn't step up, he was gonna lose you for good." My breath catches. "You... what?" Elliot shrugs. Had to give the guy a reality check. His lips twitch. Didn't think I'd be giving myself one too. "Elliot," he holds up a hand, cutting me off. "I'm good, Kortnie. I'll be good." His voice softens. "But are you?" I inhale slowly, his question settling deep in my bones. Because I don't know. And I don't think I'll ever really be good when it comes to Rex Montgomery. But I do know one thing. I've been running from him. From us. For a long damn time. Maybe it's time to finally see what happens when I let myself stay. "Jacob, I wonder if you still remember the way I used to touch your face when I was trying not to fall apart. I wonder if you ever forgave me for how it ended, or if you even should. I broke a lot of things, but I never stopped loving you. That part, that was always real."
Chapter 20. Rex. I sit at the head of the conference table, hands clasped together, my jaw tight as I listen to the investors lay out their ultimatum. Sell the vineyard, or risk losing everything. The air is thick with tension, the kind that crawls up my spine, settles deep in my gut. The room is too quiet, too sterile. It smells like ink on paper, like leather chairs and polished wood, like every damn boardroom I swore I'd never sit in again. But here I am, and these men, these so-called businessmen with their expensive suits and their soulless eyes think they can strong-arm me into selling off my family's legacy over my dead body. I lean back, keeping my expression blank. And if I don't, the oldest investor, a graying man with an overpriced watch and a permanent sneer, exhales like he expected me to ask but already has the answer locked and loaded. Then your vineyard collapses, your debts outweigh your assets, and when the bank takes it, you don't get a cent. He folds his hands neatly on the table. Or you take the deal we're offering, walk away with substantial compensation, and let the vineyard fall into more capable hands. Capable hands. I grip the table, fighting the urge to put my fist through it. They don't give a damn about this land. They don't give a damn about the vines, the history, the work it takes to make something real. They see numbers, profits, margins, but they don't see me. They don't see the man who spent his childhood walking these fields, or who learned to taste the difference in the soil, the shift in the air before the rain. They don't see her, Kortnie. They don't see how she's woven into every inch of this place, how her touch is in the way the barrels are stacked, how her voice is in the way the wines are crafted, how her heart, God, her heart, is in the very soil beneath our feet. This vineyard isn't just a business, it's ours, and I'll be damned if I let them rip it away from me now. I push back from the table, standing slowly, deliberately. The answer is no. The room shifts, the investors exchanging pointed glances, the tension stretching tighter. Montgomery, one of them says, his tone carefully measured. You're making an emotional decision? Damn right I am, I cut in, my voice low, firm, final. Because this business, it's personal. It's always been personal. I flatten my palms against the table, leaning in, making sure every single one of them knows exactly where I stand. You can take your offer and shove it. I turn on my heel and walk out before any of them can get another word in. When I step outside, the cool evening air does nothing to settle the fire still burning through my chest. I head toward the barrel room, my mind racing, my pulse a steady, hammering reminder that everything is coming to a head and fast. I have to talk to Kortnie. I need her more than I care to admit. But before I even process what I'm going to say to her, I see her standing near the vineyard gates, her back to me, her phone pressed to her ear. Something in my gut twists, because I know that stance. That quiet, focused stillness. That's her making a decision. I step toward her just as she lowers the phone from her ear, staring down at it like she's turning something over in her mind. Kortnie. She flinches slightly before turning, her expression carefully neutral. Hey. I exhale, crossing my arms. What's going on? She hesitates, biting her lip. Then, slowly, carefully, she says, I just got a job offer. Something cold settles over me. Okay. She presses her lips together, trying to find the right way to say it. It's in France. The word hits like a fist. I don't move, don't react, but something inside me snaps. I nod slowly, keeping my voice even. That's a big opportunity. She exhales. Yeah, it is. I drag a hand over my jaw, feeling the tension coil tighter. And she looks away, staring out at the vines, the same way she always does when she wants to convince herself of something. I don't know yet, she murmurs. I told them I needed time to think. Time to think. Time to decide if she's leaving me again. I inhale sharply, my pulse a steady, hammering reminder that I am dangerously close to losing her all over again. I have to tell her about the investors, about the vineyard, about the fact that I just risked everything to hold on to this place. I don't, because I can see it in her eyes. She's wanting me to prove it, not with words, not with empty promises, with actions. So I take a step closer, my voice low, steady, certain. Are you looking for a reason to stay? She freezes. I see the fear in her eyes, because she knows. She knows I'm asking for more than just an answer about the job. She knows I'm asking her to choose me.
Chapter 21. Kortnie. I stand there staring at him, my pulse pounding in my ears. Are you looking for a reason to stay? Rex's words echo in my head, settling somewhere deep, somewhere I've tried to ignore since the moment I stepped foot back on this vineyard. I don't answer right away. I can't, because the truth is messy. It's twisted up in memories and old heartbreaks, in whispers of the past and what could have been. Now, here I am, standing at the edge of something that feels big, feels final, and I have no idea which way to go. The job in France is everything I should want. A prestigious position, an untouchable reputation, a way to walk away from all of this, the scandal, the mess, the man standing here waiting for an answer. It would be a fresh start. I exhale, forcing myself to look at him. His expression is unreadable, but his eyes, his damn eyes, are full of something dangerous, something heavy, something that makes my chest ache. I don't know, I admit. His jaw tightens. That's not an answer, Kortnie. I shake my head. I don't know, Rex. That's the whole problem. His lips part like he wants to argue, but then he stops, dragging a hand over his jaw, exhaling hard. The silence between us is thick, filled with everything we're not saying. My chest tightens. This job, it's everything I've worked for, everything I've been trying to build since. I cut myself off before I say since you broke my heart. But he hears it anyway. I see the way his eyes darken, the way his fingers curl at his sides. You think this is the only way? His voice is low, rough. That leaving is the only way to prove you're still standing? I flinch, because the truth in his words hurts. Because maybe a part of me, a big part of me, thinks that if I leave, it'll mean I finally won. That I didn't need him to survive. That I didn't need this place to be whole. But now, as I stand here staring at him, staring at this vineyard, I can't tell if I'm running towards something or just running away. It would be a clean break. Rex exhales sharply, shaking his head. Clean breaks don't exist, not for people like us. My throat tightens. People like us? He steps closer, his voice lower, rougher. People who loved each other once. People who never stopped. I inhale, my breath shaky, uneven. My body betraying me the way it always does when he gets too close. Rex. I wish you'd stay, he says, voice gravelly, like it costs him something to say it out loud. But I won't stop you. I blink up at him, my heart pounding, because I know what he's doing. He's giving me the choice. The thing I always said I never had with him. He's letting me go, if that's what I want. I press my fingers against my temples, trying to push down the emotions swarming inside me. I need time to think. His eyes flicker, but he nods once, sharp and certain. Then think fast. I flinch, because it's not a threat. It's the truth. Because we're running out of time. If I don't decide soon, I might lose more than just this vineyard. I might lose him. For good.
Chapter 22. Rex. I don't sleep, not a damn minute. I spend the night pacing through the vineyard, running my hands through my hair, breathing in the earth and rain-soaked vines, and trying to wrap my head around the fact that I might lose everything. The vineyard, my family's legacy. Kortnie, I've risked a lot in my life, made choices that cost me things I can never get back. But this feels different. Because if I lose her again, it won't be because I didn't fight for her. It'll be because she chose to walk away. That's something I have to live with. But the vineyard, that's mine. And I'll be damned if I let anyone take it from me. By the time the sun rises, I've already made my decision. I head straight to the main house. The investors already gathered in the dining room, their smug, entitled expressions making my blood boil. I don't sit. I don't shake hands. I just stand there, arms crossed, my voice calm, firm, final. The answer is no. The room shifts. Some of them exchange glances. Others let out long sighs, like I'm the stubborn child in the room instead of the man who built this vineyard from the ground up. Montgomery, one of them starts, setting his pen down like he's patiently explaining basic math to someone too slow to keep up. You're making an emotional decision. You have to look at this practically. I am. I step forward, bracing my hands on the table, lowering my voice. And practically speaking, if you think I'm going to hand over my family's legacy to a bunch of men in suits who wouldn't know the difference between a Cabernet and a damn Merlot, you're out of your mind. The oldest investor exhales, rubbing his temples. You'll regret this, Rex. I lean in. I've regretted a lot of things in my life. This won't be one of them. Silence stretches, my decision settling over the room like a storm cloud. One of the men pushes back his chair, standing slowly. We'll expect your final numbers by the end of the month. If you can't turn this vineyard around, don't expect us to be waiting with another offer. I meet his gaze, unwavering. I wouldn't take it if you were. With that, I turn and walk out. The weight should feel lighter now that the decision is made, but it doesn't. Because the second I step out onto the porch, I see her. Kortnie, standing at the edge of the vineyard, her arms crossed over her chest, her face tilted up toward the sun, like she wants to absorb whatever warmth she can before it disappears. Like she's already preparing herself for goodbye. My chest tightens. I walk toward her slowly, my boots crunching against the gravel, my pulse a steady, unforgiving rhythm against my ribs. She turns at the sound, her eyes shining with something I can't name, something that makes my throat go tight. I watch her carefully. I made my choice. She exhales, nodding once like she expected it, like she knew before I even said the words. You're not selling. It's not a question. No! She shifts, tucking a curl behind her ear, exhaling through her nose. And now, you're waiting to see if I'm gonna make mine. I don't answer. Because she's right. Because there's no words for what's sitting between us. So I just nod, keeping my eyes locked on hers, my hands flexing at my sides. You don't want me to go, she says softly. It's not a question. I exhale slowly, my voice dropping lower. I never did. Her fingers tighten around the hem of her shirt. Rex. She starts, but doesn't finish. Because this isn't simple. It never was. But that doesn't change the fact that I know exactly what I want. Exactly who I want. I move toward her again, my pulse roaring when she doesn't move away. You said you needed time, I murmur, my voice gravelly, rough. And I gave it to you. I need you to give me something now, Kortnie, I continue, my fingers twitching at my sides. Tell me you're staying. Her eyes shine, her body caught between fight and surrender. Like maybe she's gonna run. Or maybe she's finally gonna let me catch her.
Chapter 23. Kortnie. I should have an answer. I should be able to say something, anything, while Rex stands there, watching me like I'm the only thing that matters. like I hold the last missing piece of this puzzle we've spent years trying to put back together. I don't. I can't. Because I finally understand what I've been running from. It was never Rex. It was me. I've spent so much time convincing myself that I had to choose between my career and my heart, between success and love, between who I was with him and who I became without him. Maybe I did. Maybe back then, when everything fell apart, I wasn't strong enough to hold on to both. But now I know better. Now I see him, really see him. Rex Montgomery. Stubborn, frustrating, relentless. The man who let me go because he thought that's what I wanted. The man who fought like hell to build something for himself. To prove, to me, to his father, to the whole damn world, that he wasn't just another business tycoon. That he was this land, this vineyard, this dream. And standing here watching him choose it, choose us, I know the truth. I was never afraid of loving him. I was afraid of losing myself. But maybe I never really did. Maybe I just had to find my way back. Rex exhales, his jaw tight, his body wound too tight, too still. Kortnie. I blink up at him, my pulse roaring, my heart pounding against my ribs like it's trying to tell me what to do. Say something, he murmurs, his voice rough, raw. I swallow hard, my throat thick. You're really staying. It's not a question. His eyes flicker with something I can't name. Yeah, I am. I shift my weight, something deep inside me unraveling. For the vineyard? His gaze locks onto mine. For you. The words hit like lightning, striking through me, leaving nowhere to hide. I inhale sharply, pressing a hand to my chest, feeling the rapid beat of my own pulse. The way my body already knows the answer before my mind can catch up. This vineyard, this land, this place was always home. Not because of the soil or the vines, or the work I put into making a name for myself, but because of him, because he's home, and I'm done running. I'm scared, I admit. Rex doesn't hesitate. He moves toward me, eliminating every inch of space, his presence as steady as the ground beneath my feet. Of what? I force myself to say it. To finally be honest. Of losing myself again. His hands hover near my arms. Not touching, not pushing, just waiting. You won't, he says, low, firm. I believe him. Because this time, I know loving him doesn't mean losing me. It means finding a way to have both. My heart's hammering. Ask me to stay. His throat bobs, his breath hitches. Then, his voice gravelly, certain. Stay. This time, when I say yes, I mean it with everything I have.
Chapter 24. Rex. She says yes. She says it like a promise, like a damn prayer, and something inside me breaks wide open. Because for 5 years, I've lived in limbo, stuck between what we had and what we lost, trapped in the wreckage of a love that never fully died. Now, she's standing here, choosing me. Say it again. Kortnie's lips part, her pulse thrumming at the base of her throat. Stay, she whispers. I exhale sharply, my control hanging by a thread. You're sure? She nods, her eyes shining, her fingers twisting together like she's nervous. Like I'm going to pull away, like she doesn't know I could never. I never stopped loving you. The words come out before I can stop them, or second-guess myself, or hold them back like I have for 5 long years. Her breath catches, her body stilling, her hands trembling just enough that I reach for them, curling my fingers around hers, grounding her. Not for a minute, I murmur, my voice rough, raw, unforgiving in its truth. Not when you left. Not when I tried to convince myself I hated you. Not when I thought I'd lost you for good. She sucks in a breath, her throat working, her fingers tightening around mine. Rex. I move before she can finish, before she can talk herself out of this, before either of us can think. I crash my mouth against hers, swallowing whatever words were about to spill from her lips, pouring everything into the kiss, every ounce of frustration, every regret, every second we wasted pretending like this wasn't inevitable. Kortnie gasps into my mouth, her body melting against mine, her fingers curling into my shirt, dragging me closer. I groan, one hand sliding into her hair, fisting at the nape of her neck, angling her how I want her, how I need her. And she gives it to me. She always gives it to me. I take full damn advantage, deepening the kiss, my tongue sliding against hers, my free hand pressing against the small of her back, holding her to me. Her hands claw at my shirt like she's drowning in it. I walk her backward through the bedroom door, my mouth never leaving hers, not when her calves hit the mattress, not when she fumbles with my belt buckle. I catch her wrists, pinning them against the headboard. Her breath hitches, eyes dark and defiant even now. Still gotta be in control, Montgomery. I drag my teeth along her collarbone, grinning at the shiver it pulls from her. You handed me the reins when you said stay. She arches into me, all heat and challenge. Prove you can handle them. My laugh comes out low, dangerous. I yank her blouse open, buttons scattering like gunshots against the hardwood.
I hate to put a stop to a good time, but it looks like we've hit this platform's limit for spiciness.
This platform's got some rules we have to play by if we want to keep giving you these stories for free.
And trust me, this scene isn't something you want to miss.
While we can't get into all the details here, you can still dive into the full, uncut version at TylaWalker.com.
Miss Tyla has an entire collection of unabridged audiobooks and ebooks waiting for you.
And the best part? You can treat yourself with 40% off when you use the code SAVE40.
That's right. You'll save on any digital product, even bundles that are already discounted.
Miss Tyla would never let anyone feel the kind of disappointment you must be feeling right now.
So why wait? Treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Her laughter vibrates against my lips. Took you long enough. I collapse beside her, chest heaving, watching moonlight carve silver streaks across her collarbone. You're insufferable. Yet here you are. She traces the scar on my ribs, the one from rebuilding her father's rotted trellises. Again. Our fingers tangle in the wreckage of sheets without permission. Somewhere beyond the broken bedroom door, a cork pops in the great hall. Kortnie's nose wrinkles. They're drinking the 18 Cabernet without us. I drag my thumb across her swollen lower lip. Let them. Her teeth graze my knuckle, a warning, a promise. You realize this changes nothing. Of course not. I catch her wrist when she reaches for her discarded blouse. But the 21 Pinot's still breathing in the cellar. Her eyebrow arches. Bribing me with Grand Cru? Persuading. I press her palm flat against my racing heartbeat. There's a difference. She studies our joined hands like they're a puzzle she can't solve. The grandfather clock downstairs chimes 3, its brass pendulum catching moonlight through the doorway. Somewhere beyond the vineyards, a lone coyote howls. Kortnie's sigh ghosts across my chest. You'll hate me in the morning. I catch a stray curl stuck to her temple, tucking it behind her ear. Never figured out how, did I?
Chapter 25. Kortnie. I wake up to the feeling of Rex's warmth pressed against me, his arm heavy around my waist, his breath steady against my neck. I feel safe, grounded, whole. Like maybe this man, this vineyard, this love that survived so much was always meant to be mine. But reality comes crashing back before I savor it. Because the second I reach for my phone, there it is, A text from Adrian. Investors are threatening legal action. You and Rex need to handle this ASAP. Just like that, the world settles back onto my shoulders. I carefully slide out from under Rex's arm, reaching for his shirt from the night before and slipping it over my body before padding toward the window. The vineyard stretches out, golden in the early morning light, the rows of vines standing strong, unshaken. I wish I felt the same. A rustling behind me makes me turn, and when I do, Rex is watching me. Still half asleep, hair a mess, body gloriously bare under the sheets, but his gaze, that sharp, knowing gaze that sees too much, is locked onto my face. "What happened?" he rasps, voice thick with sleep. I swallow, holding up my phone. "The investors aren't going down without a fight." His expression hardens, his body going rigid in an instant. He's up in a second, grabbing his jeans, shoving them on. "What kind of fight?" I glance at the message again, reading between the lines. The thinly veiled threat. "Legal action?" Rex lets out a sharp breath, jaw tightening. "Of course they are." I exhale, gripping my phone tighter, fighting the way my chest tightens with frustration. "They're trying to scare us into giving up the vineyard. If we don't sell, they'll drag us through court. Tie up our finances. Bleed us dry." Rex walks toward me, steady, unshaken. His presence like a storm ready to break. "They think I'm weak," he mutters. I search his face. "Are you?" His eyes flash. "Not a damn chance." 30 minutes later, we're in his office, papers spread across the desk. My laptop open with Adrian on a video call. "I've seen this before," she says, adjusting her glasses, her voice sharp with urgency. "It's a classic pressure tactic. They don't have grounds for an actual lawsuit, at least not one they'd win. But that's not the point. They want to drain your resources until you have to sell." Rex leans against the desk, arms crossed. His expression unreadable. "What's our best move?" Adrian exhales, looking between us. "You need to prove the vineyard's stable, that it has the potential to make money long-term without their funding. If you can do that, they won't have a case for damages." Rex nods, his mind already working, already moving to fix this. "We'll release the new blends early, push our marketing strategy forward, get the brand out there before they can paint it as a failure." I lean in, adding, "We could also secure a partnership with an independent distributor, someone who believes in the vineyard, who doesn't answer to corporate money." Adrian nods, tapping something on her keyboard. "That could work, but you need to move fast. Investors don't wait." Rex looks at me then, his gaze locking onto mine. "We can do this." And I believe him, because we're finally not just fighting our past, we're fighting together. The next few days are a blur of strategy meetings, calls, and late nights spent working side by side. Rex handles the vineyard's operations, working with Bennett to optimize production, securing local suppliers, renegotiating contracts. I focus on the brand, reaching out to sommeliers, wine clubs, influencers, anyone who can help spread the word. It's exhausting. It's overwhelming. Yet somehow it feels right. Like this is what we were always meant to do. Like we're finally building something together. One night, after hours of work, I find myself leaning against the office desk, rubbing my temples. Rex steps behind me, his hands finding my shoulders, kneading the tension away. "You should rest," he murmurs. "So should you." He leans in, his lips grazing my neck. "You always did work too damn hard." I shiver under his touch, my body aching for more, even after everything we shared last night. Because this thing between us isn't just about the fight, it's about the fire. "You think we're gonna win this?" His gaze darkens, his fingers tightening on my skin. "We're not just gonna win." His voice drops lower, rougher. We're gonna make them regret ever coming after us. I'm trusting him again. You know that feeling when a book pulls you in, wraps around you, and refuses to let go? When the tension is so thick, you swear you can feel it?
Welcome to 30 sinfully addictive romance audiobooks that will ruin your sleep.
Wow, I wasn't ready for this. One chapter in, and I'm already hooked.
Oh, you thought this was just another audiobook collection. No, sweetheart. This is the Dirty 30. Forbidden love, dangerous desires, billionaires with secrets, bad boys who bite back. And every last word is dripped in temptation.
I thought I could just listen to one chapter before bed. Now it's 2 a.m. and I need answers. Need.
So what are you waiting for? Click the link. Start listening. Let the Dirty 30 ruin you in the best way possible.
Escape your life with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 26, Rex. I've never second-guessed myself, not in business, not in the vineyard, not in life. But when it comes to Kortnie, when it comes to us, every damn thing I thought I knew has been rewritten. This isn't just about saving the vineyard. It's about building something with her. Now, as I stand in the dim glow of the tasting room, watching her move her curls tumbling over her shoulders, her face lit with focus as she studies the notes on our new blends, I know there's only one choice left to make. I could propose marriage. I could put a ring on her finger, promise her forever in the way the world expects. But Kortnie Daniels has never been about expectations, and neither am I. So I'm going to give her something better. A future that's ours, a business and a life we build together. She's still studying the wine notes when I walk up behind her, my presence a slow, deliberate heat against her back. She doesn't turn, but I see her breath catch and how her body responds before she even knows what I'm about to say. Rex, she murmurs, setting the papers down, finally looking up at me. I take the papers from her hands, setting them aside, my fingers brushing against hers for just a second too long. She inhales slowly, tilting her chin. You're staring. I don't deny it. Can we talk? Her brows pull together, her guard going up just a little. What's wrong? Nothing, I murmur. Everything's finally right. She studies me, searching for something in my face. I reach for her hands, trapping them between mine, holding her still, holding her steady. Stay with me, I say, my voice low, unwavering. Her breath stutters. I already said yes. You said yes to staying, I clarify, but I need you to say yes to more than that. She swallows, her fingers twitching in my grip. More. I exhale, pressing our hands together, my pulse pounding. Marry me, I say softly, watching her eyes widen. Or don't. I don't care. Her breath catches. Rex, this isn't just about marriage, Kortnie, I continue, my voice rough, raw, real. This is about us. This is about the vineyard, about building something together, running it together, owning every damn part of this together. Something flickers in her expression. I'm not asking you to give up your career, I murmur. I'm not asking you to change who you are. I'm asking you to do this with me, for real this time. She's shaking now, her fingers tightening around mine. This vineyard, I continue, voice lower, heavier, isn't just mine. It's ours. Just like this life we've been dancing around for years. And then she speaks, voice shaky but strong. You're asking me to build a business with you. I nod, my throat tight. And a life, side by side as partners. She exhales, her whole body stilling, just when I think I might have finally lost her. She surges forward, throwing her arms around my neck, pulling me into a kiss so deep, so damn consuming, I lose my breath. Her answer is in the way she kisses me, like she's never leaving again. Like she's finally stopped running. Like she knows just like I do that this is everything. This time we're doing it together.
Chapter 27. Kortnie. For the longest time I had to choose. Love or career, passion or independence, my future or my heart. I spent years convincing myself that the two couldn't coexist, that the second I let Rex back in, I'd lose the version of myself I'd worked so damn hard to build. But standing here pressed against him, feeling the steady, unshakable weight of his hands on my waist, his breath fanning against my lips, his offer hanging between us like something delicate and precious and wholly undeniably real. I realized I was wrong. I shouldn't choose. I can have both. I pull back just enough to meet his eyes, my pulse pounding, my whole chest too tight with emotion. You mean it? I whisper. Really mean it? Rex exhales sharply, his hands tightening against my waist, his voice low and certain. I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't. A shuddering breath escapes me because I believe him. I believe him in a way I couldn't before, because this is different. We're different. I never wanted to choose between you and my career, I admit, my fingers trailing up his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart beneath my palm. I didn't know how to have both. His gaze softens, something intense, something devastatingly tender flickering behind his eyes. You don't have to choose, he murmurs. You never did. A lump forms in my throat and I can't speak, can't move, can't breathe under. Because it's not just a business deal. It's a life. A future we build together. I always thought love meant sacrifice, I whisper more to myself than to him. That I had to give something up in order to have it. Rex lifts a hand, tucking a loose curl behind my ear, tracing his fingers down my jaw, my neck, my shoulder, like he's memorizing me all over again. That's not love, Kortnie, he says, voice rough. That's fear. I exhale sharply, the truth of his words hitting me deep. Fear. That's what this has been about all along. Fear of losing myself. Fear of losing him. Fear of having everything I've ever wanted and then watching it all slip through my fingers. But this time, I'm not running. This time, I'm choosing to stay. I place my hands on his chest, my fingers curling against the fabric of his shirt, holding on to him, holding on to this. I want this, I say, my voice steady now. Rex searches my face, his eyes darkening. Say it again. A slow, breathless smile pulls at my lips. I want this, I repeat, firmer this time. I want us. A low, rough sound escapes him. Something between a curse and a prayer, and then he's pulling me in, crushing his mouth against mine, kissing me like he's been waiting his whole damn life to hear those words. Maybe he has. Maybe I have too. We spend the next few days building our plan, laying the foundation for everything we're about to create together. The vineyard, the business, the life. It finally doesn't feel like I'm making a trade-off. I feel like I'm making a choice. A choice that gives me everything. A choice that gives me him. That's the future I never even let myself dream of. Until now.
Chapter 28. Rex. The sun is barely creeping over the horizon when I step out onto the land. The air is cool, damp with morning dew, the smell of earth and ripening grapes wrapping around me like a second skin. This vineyard, this place has been in my blood for as long as I can remember. It was the first thing I ever loved, the only thing I ever thought I needed. For a long time, it was the thing that cost me everything. I needed to choose between this land and Kortnie, between the business and the woman who made me feel like I could finally breathe. Back then, I did. Maybe I was too damn caught up in proving myself, too caught up in building an empire that never really belonged to me to see what was right here. This vineyard isn't just mine anymore. It's ours. A symbol of everything we lost. A symbol of everything we're building back together. As I stand here, taking it all in, I hear her footsteps behind me. I turn, and there she is. Kortnie! Barefoot in the damp grass, wearing one of my old shirts, her curls wild from sleep, her expression soft in the early morning light. She stops, watching me carefully, reading me the way only she can. "You okay?" she asks, voice husky from sleep. I nod, my throat tightening. "Yeah." She exhales, stepping closer, wrapping her arms around herself. "You look deep in thought." I breathe slowly, looking around us, at the vines stretching in long, perfect rows, at the barrels stacked neatly under the covered awning, at the land that has carried my family's name for generations. Finally, I look at her. "I used to think this place was the only thing that mattered," I admit, my voice low. "That saving it was the only thing that made me worth a damn." She watches me, waiting, her expression open, unwavering. I step toward her. "But I was wrong." Her fingers twitch like she wants to reach for me. I don't give her the chance. I lift my hand, brushing a loose curl away from her face, my thumb tracing the line of her jaw. "I could lose the vineyard tomorrow," I murmur, my voice rough, "and I'd still have the most important thing." Her breath catches. "Rex." "You." I cut in, my hand sliding to the back of her neck, my fingers pressing into her skin. "I'd still have you." She leans into my touch, her hands gripping my forearms, holding on like she needs this just as much as I do. "Rex," she whispers, her voice thick with emotion. I lower my forehead to hers, inhaling deep, steady, taking her in. "This vineyard brought us together," I say, my breath warm against her skin. "It tore us apart." I pull back just enough to look into her eyes. "But now, it's bringing us back." A tear slips down her cheek, and I catch it with my thumb, my chest aching with the severity of this moment. This is about what we've fought for, what we've rebuilt, what we're still building. This vineyard, it's not just my family's legacy anymore, it's ours. I'll spend the rest of my life making sure she never doubts that again.
Chapter 29. Kortnie. I breathe in the earth and ripening grapes, the faint trace of oak barrels and sweet fermentation on the air. The vineyard stretches wide, golden under the late afternoon sun, rows of vines heavy with promise. My promise. Because this is my dream. I'm finally living it, on my terms. I used to think I had to leave to prove I could do this on my own. That success only meant something if it was far away from the place that broke me. But standing here in the middle of everything I thought I had to walk away from, I realized something I never let myself believe before. I was never running toward something. I was running from him, from us, from the way Rex Montgomery has always felt like home, like solid ground beneath my feet, like the thing I could never quite shake no matter how much distance I put between us. I don't have to run anymore because I have both. My career, my independence, my place in this world, and him, the man who never really let me go, even when I thought he had. The man who fought his way back to me, who learned how to fight with me instead of just for me. I hear his footsteps before I see him. The sound steady, familiar, like he's always known exactly where to find me. I turn, and there he is. Broad shoulders, sharp jaw, those impossibly blue eyes watching me like I'm the only damn thing that matters. "You look happy," he says, stopping with his arms crossed, studying me like he's memorizing this moment. My pulse is kicking up when his gaze drops to my mouth. "I am." His expression softens, something warm and slow building behind his eyes. "Good." I exhale, shaking my head, letting myself take him in. "You know, I used to think I couldn't have this. His brows pulled together slightly. Have what? I motion around us, at the vineyard, at the endless stretch of vines, at everything we've built back together. This, I murmur. A career I love, a life I love, and you. My voice drops to a whisper, all at the same time. His jaw tightens, his hands flexing at his sides, like he's holding something back. I look up, meeting his gaze. But I was wrong. Kortnie. I don't let him finish. I reach for him, fisting my hands in his shirt, pulling him close, closing the last bit of space between us. Because I don't need him to say anything. I just need this. The way he wraps his arms around me, grounding me, holding me like he's never letting go again. The way his lips brush against my temple, slow and reverent, like a promise. The way we fit, perfectly, effortlessly, like we were never really broken in the first place. I finally know. This isn't just my dream. It's our dream. We're finally living it. I thought I was getting a fake marriage, but I didn't know my story was being told by Miss Tyla.
This isn't just any fake marriage, now is it?
No, you introduced me to the devil.
Come on, girl, Jacob isn't that bad.
Oh, I love Jacob. His family, on the other hand.
Beggars can't be choosers, Nyla. You should be grateful I even let Jacob Stone look your way.
I just wanted to save my granddaddy. Is that so bad? Why couldn't you let this be a normal fake marriage? Instead, you put me in a twisty story filled with money, betrayal, power, and lies.
Let's not forget love.
That's what keeps me going. But not gonna lie, Miss Tyla. This story you got me in ain't the simple fake marriage, happy ending I thought it would be.
It's not. Because where would be the fun in that?
Treat yourself to Say Less I Love You. Tuesdays and Thursdays. New seasons premiere every month. Or skip the wait and grab the full series bundle from TylaWalker.com. Treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 30. Rex, the vineyard's thriving. Sales are up. Our new blends are getting traction. The investors, those smug bastards who thought they could pressure me into selling, are officially out of the picture. And Kortnie, she's in her element. Happy, focused, whole. Every time I catch her walking between the vines, clipboard in hand, hair wild from the wind, her lips pursed in thought, I remember exactly why I fought for this. For her. For us. But there's one more thing I have to do. I find her in the barrel room, hands covered in wine-stained gloves, carefully siphoning samples from the newer blends. She doesn't hear me at first, too focused on her work, too damn beautiful in her element. I lean against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching her. Then, because patience has never been my strong suit, I speak. Kortnie. She startles slightly, glancing up, her mouth already forming words before she even sees me. I swear to God, if you're about to tell me that Merlot needs more time. She stops when she sees my face. She knows I'm up to something. Her brows pull together. What? I push off the doorframe, stepping into the room, slow and deliberate. I have something for you. She blinks. If it's a bottle of that reserve I've been asking about, I swear I will. It's not wine, sweetheart. Her pulse visibly ticking at the base of her throat. I reach into my pocket and pull out a folded envelope. Her gaze drops to it, wary, curious. What's that? I hold it out. Open it! She hesitates, then pulls off one glove, taking the envelope carefully, slowly, like she's wanting me to tell her what it is before she even looks inside. I say nothing, because I need her to see it first. She exhales, then slides a finger under the flap, pulling out the crisp white sheet of paper inside. She reads, and then she freezes. Her breath catches, her eyes going wide, tightening her grip on the page. She looks up, her voice barely above a whisper. "Rex, it's ours, Kortnie." She blinks rapidly, looking back down, reading it again like she's not sure she saw it right. The deed to the land next to the vineyard, an expansion, a new facility, a new project. Hers. Ours. Her lips move, but no words come out. My pulse is a slow, steady thrum as I watch her. "Say something." She lets out a shaky breath, her eyes flicking between mine and the paper in her hands. "You." She swallows, shaking her head like she can't even process it. "You bought more land?" "For us," I murmur. Her lips pressed together, her body practically vibrating with emotion. "You did this for me?" I slide a hand under her jaw, tilting her face up to mine, making damn sure she sees the truth in my eyes. "I did this for us." She lets out another breath, sharp, shaky, full of something I recognize because I feel it too. "You want a future like this?" she whispers. My thumb strokes her cheek, slow and steady. "A future where we build something together. Where you have full control over the next phase of this vineyard. Where you get to create something entirely your own without answering to anyone else?" I let my lips brush against hers, just barely. "Hell yes! This is what I want." A soft sound escapes her, something like a laugh and a sob all at once. Suddenly, she's kissing me, gripping my shirt, pulling me against her like she doesn't know what else to do with all the emotions running through her. I groan into her mouth, my hand tangling in her hair, my other arm circling her waist, holding her close. Because this right here is why I did it. It's not because I needed some grand gesture to prove my love or because I wanted her to feel trapped, obligated, pressured, but because I wanted her to see it. See that she doesn't have to choose. See that she can have this vineyard, her career, and me. See that we can have this life together. When she finally pulls back, she's breathless, her eyes shining, her lips swollen from my kiss. "You didn't propose," she whispers. I smirk, my voice rough. "Didn't need to." Her breath catches again. Because she knows. A ring? A proposal? That's not what we needed. We needed this. A future designed together. As I watch her look down at the deed in her hands, our names side by side on the paperwork, bound together in ink and legacy, and something so much bigger than either of us. I know I made the right choice, because this is our beginning. There's not a damn thing in the world that could take it from us now.
Chapter 31. Kortnie. I want to believe this is real. That the man standing here, the one who just handed me the deed to our future, the man who is looking at me with something unshakable, unwavering, unrelenting, is the same man who will stand beside me when things get hard. But I've believed in us before. I know it wasn't enough. I clutched the paper in my hands, my name and his, together on something permanent, something bigger than just us, something that ties me to him in a way that makes my chest tighten with both hope and fear. Because I want this. I want this vineyard, this business, this man. But history has a way of repeating itself. Even with every change he's made, every promise he's kept, I can't help but wonder what happens when the pressure comes. Because it always does. Maybe we're not strong enough to hold together this time. The first sign of trouble comes the next day. I'm in the office running numbers, finalizing supplier contracts, when my phone buzzes. Adrian. I pick up on the first ring. "Hey, what's up? You need to come to the tasting room." Her voice is tight, clipped, and immediately my stomach knots. "Why?" She exhales, and I can already hear the frustration creeping into her tone. "Because the distributor just pulled their order." I still. "What?" "You heard me," she bites out. "They pulled the order, Kortnie. $30,000 worth of wine, gone. Said they were reevaluating after the investor fallout." A sharp, cold feeling sweeps over me. $30,000. That's not small. That's not something we can afford to lose right now. I shoot up from my chair, grabbing my notes. I'll be right there. As I get to the tasting room, Rex is already there, his arms crossed, his jaw tight, his whole body coiled like a loaded gun. Adrienne stands next to him, shaking her head. I told them they had a contract, but apparently there was a clause that allows them to reevaluate partnerships if financial instability is a concern. Rex lets out a sharp breath, tension rolling off of him in waves. Let me guess, he mutters. They think we're unstable? Adrienne nods, crossing her arms. I told them we have new investors lined up, that we're expanding, but they didn't care. Said they'd touch base in a few months. A few months. By then, we could lose other distributors, other clients. This could get bad. Fast. I swallow hard, my pulse kicking up. So what do we do? Rex straightens, his presence commanding the room the way it always does when things start to slip. We go after someone bigger, he says. Someone who doesn't care about boardroom politics. Adrienne lifts a brow. You got someone in mind? Rex's eyes flick to mine. Yeah, he says slowly. I do. Later that night, we're in his office, doors shut, papers spread across the desk. His laptop open to a list of potential clients. The firelight flickers, casting shadows against the walls, but I barely see them. Because I see him, the man I love, the man who is trying so damn hard to fix this before it falls apart. But we've been here before. I've watched him slip into this version of himself. The one who lives and dies by the business. The one who prioritizes success over everything else. Even though he promised me this time is different, I feel it happening. I feel him slipping. I breathe slowly, pressing my palms against the desk. Rex? He doesn't look up. I hesitate. We need to talk. That makes him look up. And the second he does, the exhaustion in his eyes makes my heart ache. We're talking now, he says, voice low, rough. Not about the deal, about us. His brows pull together. Kortnie? I stop, exhaling sharply, struggling to put words to the fear sitting heavy within me. We can't fall into the same patterns we did before. His expression darkens. What patterns? I bite my lip, forcing myself to say it. You, throwing yourself into the business so hard that there's nothing left for us. Me, pulling away because I'm afraid of being second place. Rex exhales, his fingers flexing at his sides. You're not second place, he says quietly. You never were. But that's how it felt. His jaw tightens. That's not fair. I lift my chin. Neither is losing myself for something I don't even know will last. The words land like a hit. He flinches, his shoulders going tight, his throat working around something he doesn't say. For a long moment, there's only silence. Finally, he speaks. Kortnie. It's just my name, but it's weighted, heavy. He takes a slow step toward me, his presence swallowing up the air between us, making it impossible to focus on anything but him. I know I messed up before, he says, his voice low, deliberate. I know I let this business take too much of me, that I let it take you. I swallow hard, my chest aching. But I'm not that man anymore, he continues, his fingers trailing up my arm, his touch slow, grounding. And I'm not going to lose you again. I want to believe him and believe that this time will be different, that he won't get so caught up in saving the vineyard that he forgets to save us. So I test him. Promise me, I whisper. His eyes flash and his grip on me tightens. Not possessive, not desperate, but sure. Like this time, he means it. I promise, he murmurs. We fight for this together, always. As I let him pull me into his arms, let myself lean into him in what feels like forever, I pray he's right, because I've risked my heart on him before.
Chapter 32. Rex. Pressure is a funny thing. It makes some men sharper, more dangerous, makes them thrive, and others it makes them fold. I've spent my whole damn life training myself to be the first kind of man, the kind who doesn't blink when the stakes get high, the kind who doesn't flinch when something big comes crashing down. But standing here, listening to the smooth, calculated pitch of David Langford, the investor who's been circling the vineyard like a goddamn vulture, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Temptation. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Rex, David says, leaning back in his chair, swirling the glass of red in his hand like he owns the room, like he's already won. I keep my face blank, my arms crossed over my chest. That's so? He nods, a confident smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. You already know what I bring to the table. My company has the distribution, the capital, and the international reach to put your vineyard in every major market overnight. You wouldn't have to fight for shelf space. Wouldn't have to worry about logistics, marketing, or high-risk expansion. We'd handle all of that. I exhale through my nose, forcing my pulse to stay steady. And what's the cost? David shrugs. Too easy, too damn smug. 49%. You want nearly half my business. I think we can turn your business into something global, he corrects, his voice smooth as hell, like he's selling me salvation instead of a noose. I know this game. I've played it before, been on the other side of it. 5 years ago, I probably would have taken the deal without blinking. But now, there's more at stake, and her name is Kortnie. David watches me, eyes calculating. I know what you're thinking. I arch a brow. Do you? He sets his glass down, leans in just slightly. You're thinking about what happened before, about how you let business get in the way of your personal life. Something sharp and cold slides through my chest, but I can't react, because that's what he wants. I'm thinking, I say slowly, voice even, that I don't make decisions without looking at all the angles. David nods like he respects that, like we're the same. But here's the thing, Rex, he continues, pressing in now, finding the crack, the weak spot. The market is volatile. And this place, this vineyard, it's stable right now, but stability doesn't last. Not in this industry. You need more. You need a safety net. And that's what I'm offering you. His words land like a lead weight, because I know he's not wrong. The wine industry is cutthroat, unforgiving. One bad season, one unexpected shift in the market, and everything we've built could be at risk. I've seen it happen. I'd be lying if I said I haven't thought about it, that I haven't felt the pressure creeping back in. The part of me that's hardwired to take control, to make the smart play, to secure the win. It wants to listen to him. It wants to take the deal. But then I think about Kortnie, about what she said last night. Just like that, the temptation shatters. I push back from the table, standing slowly, making sure he sees exactly where I stand before I say another word. You ever heard of a man named Richard Montgomery? David blinks, caught off guard by the shift. Your father? That's right. I watch him carefully, letting my voice drop lower. You know what he built? David nods. A multi-billion-dollar empire. I nod once. And you know what he lost? David hesitates. Your mother, for starters. His marriage. Maybe even a relationship with his own son. A slow smirk tugs at my lips. See? You get it, I murmur, voice edged with steel. He had all the power in the world, and he died alone. No family, no legacy worth a damn. David shifts in his seat. That's not... But me? I cut in, my pulse steady, my stance unmovable. I've got everything I need. David exhales, rubbing his temples. Jesus, Rex, don't be stupid. This deal would make me just like him, I say flatly, and I swore I'd never be that man. David shakes his head, frustrated now. At least think about it. I arch a brow. I just did. I turn and walk out. I reach the tasting room and I feel like I can breathe again, like I just cut myself free of something heavy. The second I see Kortnie standing at the bar, flipping through inventory sheets, her lips pursed in focus, her whole damn presence grounding me without even trying. I know I made the right call. She looks up when I walk in, her eyes immediately scanning my face, searching. Everything okay? I exhale, stepping toward her, closer than I need to be, but exactly where I need to be. Yeah, I murmur. Everything's fine. She watches me carefully. You sure? I nod, reaching for her, tucking a loose curl behind her ear, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath my fingers. Had a meeting with an investor, I admit. Her body stiffens slightly but doesn't pull away. And I told him to go to hell. Her eyes widen in shock. You wait, what? He wanted 49%. Said he could take us global. Make us bigger. Kortnie swallows. And you turned him down. I tilt her chin up, my voice low, steady, certain. I don't need bigger, sweetheart. I just need this. Before I say another word, she's kissing me. Right there, in the middle of the tasting room, her hands tangling in my shirt, her body pressed against mine, full and soft and perfect. And this time, I let her take the lead, because I don't need to chase anything else up. I've got everything I want right here. Chapter 33. Rex. Her mouth crashes into mine like a storm breaking, all heat and hunger and forbidden vintage finally uncorked. I reach for her hips, but she swats my hands away, teeth grazing my lower lip in warning. The oak barrels lining the walls seem to lean closer as she walks me backward until my calves hit the tasting table. Rules tonight? I murmur against her jaw, earning a sharp nip to my earlobe. My rules, she breathes, fingers already working my belt. You had your turn playing hero with investors. The laminated inventory sheets scatter when she shoves them off the table. Cold wood bites through my shirt as she pushes me down, the overhead pendant light haloing her like some wrathful harvest goddess. My pulse thrums faster when she hikes her dress-up muscular thighs, straddling me with the deliberate slowness of someone savoring a bold Cabernet. Christ, you're gorgeous! The words leave me hoarse as she peels off her sweater. Save the poetry. But her eyes darken when I drag a thumb across her collarbone, catching the sheen of sweat. You want to wax lyrical? She arches back to unclasp her bra, the movement liquid. Compare me to a Tannic 2017 Red. Complex. Needs patience to appreciate fully. I choke out a laugh that becomes a groan as she grinds down. Too acidic. Liar. Her nails scrape my sternum through cotton. You love the bite.
I hate to put a stop to a good time, but it looks like we've hit this platform's limit for spiciness.
This platform's got some rules we have to play by if we want to keep giving you these stories for free.
And trust me, this scene isn't something you want to miss.
While we can't get into all the details here, you can still dive into the full, uncut version at tylawalker.com.
Miss Tyla has an entire collection of unabridged audiobooks and ebooks waiting for you.
And the best part? You can treat yourself with 40% off when you use the code SAVE40.
That's right. You'll save on any digital product, even bundles that are already discounted.
Miss Tyla would never let anyone feel the kind of disappointment you must be feeling right now.
So why wait? Treat yourself with Miss Tyla. Chapter 34. Kortnie. I stare at the email on my phone, my fingers gripping the edges so tightly my knuckles go white. This can't be real. Chateau Laurent. one of the most prestigious, exclusive wine houses in France. A name that carries weight in the industry, one I've dreamed of being associated with since the first time I ever swirled a glass of Bordeaux. And knew, deep in my soul, that wine was more than just a drink. It was history, artistry, passion. And they want me. The words are right there, crisp and professional. Miss Daniels, we have followed your career with great admiration and believe you would be an invaluable asset to our team. We would like to formally invite you to join us as our lead sommelier and head of international curation. This role will provide an opportunity to expand your influence in the wine world, lead innovation in blending and curation, and shape the future of our global brand. We understand your current commitments, but we believe this is an opportunity worth considering. If you are interested, we would be delighted to fly you out for further discussions. We look forward to your response. I can't breathe. This is it, the offer people dream about, the one that could redefine my career, cement my name as one of the most influential voices in the wine world. Yet my stomach twists. This isn't just about me anymore. It hasn't been, not since I stepped back onto this vineyard, not since I let myself love Rex again. But isn't this what I wanted? Didn't I spend years trying to prove I could stand on my own, that I could build something without anyone else? Why does it feel like the ground is shifting beneath me? Why does it feel like I'm about to lose something instead of win? My thoughts are racing. I have to tell him. I find Rex outside, near the vines, his sleeves rolled up, his hands dirty from working in the soil. It's a sight I've seen 1,000 times, but today it hits different, because for all his power, for all his confidence and the weight behind his name, this is who he really is. A man who loves this land, a man who fights for the things he believes in, a man I love. I step forward, my pulse a steady thrum in my ears. Rex! He looks up immediately, wiping his hands on a rag, his sharp blue gaze locking onto mine. Something in his expression shifts. He reads me too easily, sees too much. His body tenses. What happened? I swallow hard, stepping closer. My phone tight in my grip. I got an offer, I say quietly. His jaw tightens. What kind of offer? I lick my lips, trying to steady my voice. Chateau Laurent. They want me to join their team. The silence that follows is thick, heavy. He doesn't move, doesn't react, just watches me, his expression unreadable. Finally, he exhales. And I don't know what he's asking. And what do I think? And do I want it? And am I leaving? I don't know. His throat bobs. He nods once, slowly, his gaze dropping for the briefest second before locking back onto mine. You worked for this, he says, voice even, controlled. You should be proud. Something inside me twists, because I know what he's doing. He's letting me go before I even decide. And that's what breaks me. Rex, I whisper, stepping closer, my fingers twitching at my sides, aching to reach for him. But he holds his ground, his jaw clenched, his muscles tight. You don't have to explain anything to me, he murmurs. If you want this. But that's just it, I cut in, my breath shaky, uneven. I don't know what I want. His expression flickers. You always knew what you wanted, Kortnie. Not this time, I whisper. He's watching me carefully, waiting, bracing. I inhale sharply, shaking my head. I can't walk away from us again, but I won't let go of the things I've worked for either. His lips part, but he doesn't speak. That's when I realize this is my fear laid bare. I'm not afraid of leaving. I'm afraid of what happens if I stay. Afraid that we'll fall into the same patterns, that this vineyard, this business, this life will become everything to him, and I'll be left standing in the shadows again. I search his face, desperate for something, anything that tells me this time will be different. Maybe he feels the way I'm unraveling, because suddenly his hands are on my arms, anchoring me. His voice drops low, rough, steady. You think I'd let you go a second time? I still. His fingers tighten slightly. You think I'd watch you walk away without a fight? You shouldn't fight for me. His lips press together, and then after a moment, he exhales sharply. You're right, he murmurs. I shouldn't have to fight for you. His hands slide down my arms, gripping my wrists, his pulse pounding against mine. So I won't.
Chapter 35, Rex. I've spent a lifetime fighting for control, for the business, the vineyard, the respect that wasn't freely given to me, for her. But now, standing in front of Kortnie, watching the war play out in her eyes, I realize something I never let myself believe before. Love isn't about holding on so tight that there's no room left to breathe. It's about trusting. Trust means letting go, even when it scares the hell out of you. I inhale slow and steady, pushing down the part of me that wants to tell her to stay. That wants to pull her close, wrap my arms around her, promise her that we'll figure this out as long as she doesn't walk away from me. But I don't. Instead, I step back, give her space. I do the one thing that goes against every instinct I have. I let her decide. If this is what you want, Kortnie, I say, voice even calm, then you should take it. Her breath catches. She stares at me, blinking too fast, too wide-eyed, like she doesn't recognize the man in front of her. You're... She swallows, her fingers tightening around her phone like she's bracing for something I'm not giving her. You're okay with this? My chest is tight, heavy, but steady. I don't own you, Kortnie, I murmur. I never did. She flinches, like my words just cracked something open inside her. I step closer, careful, deliberate, my hands sliding into my pockets to keep myself from reaching for her. Do I want you to stay? My voice lowers, turns rough, like the truth costs me something. Yeah, more than anything. She exhales sharply. But this isn't about what I want, I continue. It's about what you need. Her throat bobs. And if I need you, then you'll still have me. Her eyes shine, something dangerously close to tears building there, but doesn't look away. Doesn't run. She just stares at me, like she wants to see all the way through me. Trying to understand how I can say this, mean this, when before I never would have. But I have to. Because I love her too damn much to clip her wings. She shakes her head, laughing softly, breathlessly, like she doesn't know what to do with this version of me. You really mean that? She whispers. I nod once. Yeah, I do. She takes a step forward like she's drawn to me, her hands twitching at her sides, like she wants to touch me but doesn't trust herself. You've changed, she murmurs. I huff out a breath. You did that. She swallows again, her gaze searching mine, and I finally see it. The shift. The moment she realizes I will never stand in the way of her dreams. Not for the vineyard. Not for my own selfish reasons, not even for love. Because love isn't about possession. It's about standing beside someone no matter where they choose to go. And if she goes, then I'll be damn proud to watch her fly. Even if it breaks me. Even if it means learning to live without her. She looks like she's going to say something, but then, instead of speaking, she moves. Fast, without hesitation. Suddenly, her hands are on my face, her lips crashing against mine, her whole body pressing into me like she's drowning, and I'm the only thing keeping her afloat. She kisses me like she's made a decision, like she knows exactly where she belongs, like she's already chosen. When she finally pulls back, her breath is shaky, her hands still tangled in my shirt, her lips swollen from my kiss. Her eyes flick between mine, wide, wet, burning. "You," she whispers. I frown, my hands tightening on her waist. "What?" Her lips curve, breaking into something soft, something that makes my whole body ache. "I choose you," she says, her voice breaking. It was never even a question. Something inside me fractures, something that's been locked up tight for years. Because I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for her words to destroy me. How they put me back together in the same breath. I lower my forehead to hers, breathing her in, letting myself feel every second of this moment. "You sure?" I murmur, my voice gravelly, unsteady. She laughs, soft and breathless, her fingers gripping my shirt like she's never letting go. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Just like that, I know. This time, it's different. This time, she's staying. Not because I begged, not because she's afraid of leaving, but because she chooses this, chooses us. And that means more than any damn deal, any amount of power, any business move I could ever make. Because this is the only thing that ever really mattered. This time we got it right.
This is it, baby. This is what you can get me that'll make me happy.
You know I'll get you whatever you want. All you need to do is ask me and I'll give it to you.
This ain't just it. This is everything I could ever want.
Now I'm curious. What does a strong, sassy woman like yourself want so badly?
Baby, you know what I want?
Can't wait to hear.
The Big Baddie bundle from Tyla Walker. It has everything I need.
20 ebooks with over 1 million words of sassy romance and spice that'll keep you on your toes.
10 audiobooks containing over 60 hours of that seductive voice telling me naughty things all night long.
You don't need an audiobook for that, baby. Right here.
You may be fine and all, but no one tells it like the way Miss Tyla does. And I need her in my life.
The Big Baddie bundle is everything you need. You can get it for 80% off.
Go to TylaWalker.com to browse the bundles that earn you the best deals.
It's time you treat yourself. Because you deserve it.
Escape your life with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 36. Rex, her laughter vibrates against my collarbone, warm and throaty. "Floor's gonna leave marks," she murmurs, tracing the red imprint of wood grain on her thigh. I catch her wrist, pinning it above her head. The other hand slides down the sweat-slick curve of her spine. "You want soft? We've got beds." Her hips jerk against mine, challenge and invitation. "You're stalling, Montgomery." The old nickname sparks through me. I roll us in one motion, her gasp sharp as her back hits cold oak. My thumb brushes the scar above her hip, that thin white line from the trellis wire accident years ago. Her breath hitches.
And that's where we're going to put a pause on pleasure.
It looks like the rest of this chapter is just too naughty to put on the air.
As much as we'd love to share every little detail, we've got to stick to this platform's guidelines to keep these free audiobooks coming.
They've got some rules about what we can show, and we wouldn't want to risk losing the chance to bring you more content.
As frustrating as it is to build the tension only to be interrupted, Miss Tyla always knows how to make it up to you.
You can find the full, uncut scene over at TylaWalker.com.
With an entire library of unabridged audiobooks and ebooks, Miss Tyla's collection is waiting for you.
And if you use code SAVE40, you'll get 40% off any digital product, even on bundles that are already discounted.
So don't let the fun stop here. Head over to TylaWalker.com and treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 37. Rex. The sky is burning gold and deepening violet, the last traces of sunlight spilling over the vines as I stand beside her. This finally doesn't feel like a fight. Not like the ones I've had to win in boardrooms, not like the ones I waged against myself, against the fear of losing her. Again. This moment. This is something else entirely. This is trust. I glance at Kortnie, watching as she lifts her face to the horizon, her curls catching the wind, her body calm, still, here. She chose this. She chose me. Not because I begged, not because I made promises I couldn't keep. Because she wanted to. And that means more than any deal I've ever closed, any power I've ever fought for. This vineyard was once the thing that came between us. Now it's the thing that's going to keep us together. I reach into my pocket, my fingers brushing over the folded document tucked inside. Not a ring, not a proposal. Something better. Something that proves, once and for all, that this is more than just romance, more than just passion. This is partnership. I clear my throat and she turns to me, her brows pulling together slightly. What's that? I unfold the papers, hold them out. Read it. She hesitates before taking them from my hands, her gaze scanning the first few lines. And then she freezes. Her eyes snap to mine, wide, disbelieving. Rex, keep reading. She swallows hard, her fingers tight on the pages, her breath coming uneven now. She flips another page, then another, and I see the exact moment she realizes what this is. The official vineyard ownership documents, with her name listed beside mine. Her breath catches. She stares at the words, then at me, her expression stunned, shaken, something else entirely. You! She stops, shaking her head like she can't process it. You're making me co-owner? I don't break eye contact, I already did. She blinks too fast, her fingers trembling. You Rex, this isn't just some symbolic thing. This is real, I finish for her. Permanent. She shakes her head, exhaling hard. People don't just hand over half their business like this. I slowly step forward, my voice low, certain. I do. Her throat bobs, her breath unsteady. I told you, I murmur. This vineyard, this isn't just mine anymore. I step even closer, tilting my head. This is ours now, Kortnie. She lets out a shaky laugh, pressing her fingers to her lips, her body vibrating with emotion. You really did it, she whispers. Damn right, I did. Her eyes shine, glistening with something raw, something so much deeper than words. And then she moves. Fast. Right into me. Her hands are on my chest, gripping the fabric of my shirt, her face buried against my neck, her breath warm and uneven against my skin. I wrap my arms around her, pulling her in, holding her steady, firm, unshakable. She pulls back, her hands sliding up to my face, her fingers tracing the line of my jaw, her touch soft and reverent. You trust me that much, she whispers. I catch her wrist, press a slow, deliberate kiss to her palm. I trust you with everything. Her breath stutters, and then she kisses me, slow, deep, like an answer, like a promise, like this. This is exactly where we were always meant to be.
Chapter 38. Kortnie. The papers feel heavy in my hands, not because of their weight, but because of what they mean, what they change. I stare at them, my name printed beside his, etched into something permanent, something binding. Not in the way it once was, not as a promise with an engagement ring, not as a future that was meant to be but never was. This is different, stronger, because this time, I'm not losing myself. I'm finding everything I never knew I could have. The pen shakes slightly in my fingers, emotion tightening in my throat, pressing against my ribs. Take your time, Rex says, his voice low, steady, patient. I look up at him, and God, the way he looks at me, like he's known all along that this is where we'd end up. Like he was just waiting until I can see it too. My breath stutters, my vision blurring, and then, finally, I press the pen to the page. And I sign. The second my name is inked, something in me shifts. Like the last weight I didn't even know I was carrying lifts. Like every part of me that was once uncertain, once afraid, once desperate to prove myself. Let's go. I drop the pen and press my fingertips against my lips, blinking back tears, my chest full and tight and aching in the best way. It's done, I whisper. And just like that it is. I look up at Rex, expecting some smug comment, expecting him to say something cocky about how I finally came to my senses. But he doesn't. He just watches me, his throat working, his hands flexing at his sides, his expression softer than I've ever seen it. How does it feel? He asks, his voice rough around the edges. I laugh, swiping at my cheeks, like I just won the lottery. His lips part, his eyes darkening. And then he moves. Fast, straight to me, his hands cupping my face, his body heat wrapping around me, his breath heavy against my lips. You did, he murmurs, his thumbs brushing away the last traces of my tears. And so did I.
When Nyla Thomas agreed to a fake marriage, she wasn't expecting it to land her in jail.
Nyla Thomas, you are under arrest for the murders of Hilda and William Stone.
She wasn't expecting to find out the truth about her family.
You're adopted.
Marcus Swan is my father.
To get involved in crime.
The Sokolov family did this. They poisoned him.
And least of all, was she expecting to fall in love.
It's you, Nyla. It's always been you.
But now, everything is crumbling around her.
Interim CEO of Stone Hospital Group accused of murdering Hilda and William Stone to secure her position.
Alexander, you promised things would change.
They have. I'm in charge now.
No one knows who to believe.
Take the plea bargain.
I'm innocent. I thought you out of everyone would believe me.
Can you forgive her for killing our parents?
No one knows who to trust.
This is your fault. Did you ever think that Nyla would be just fine if she hadn't gotten involved with you?
I love her. I love her more than life itself.
Miss Thomas, the tests came back. There's a perfectly acceptable explanation for your condition.
And things are about to get a lot more complicated.